No.
But somebody's,
Okay. Okay, we will open this meeting of August 1st. Wow, yay, August. Let the record show that Selectman Jessamine is not present at this time, but he will be joining us shortly. At this time, I would like to make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, personnel.
second?
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
See how you are.
Back on.
Make a motion that we seal the minutes of the non-pub as they pertain to personnel permanently.
Good.
All those in favor? Aye. All right. We are now talking about recycling pay-as-you-throw. All right,
Jesus Christ.
Right on the agenda today.
we're moving right on here.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's let it roll.
In the interest of saving time tonight, in the interest of moving forward, I think that we should set a date to start the program, to move forward for pay-as-you-throw. That's my opinion, and that's why I wrote it on the...
Madam Chairman, I would like to make a motion to begin the pay-as-you-throw curbside collection as of September 3rd, 2013.
September what?
3rd. That would be Tuesday.
Do the garbage day and the day to pick up recycle.
That's right. It's a recycle day. It's also the start of a quarter. So as far as our figures and numbers go, and as far as, well, this is all part of discussion, all right? Okay. And it's, as far as our numbers go, as far as giving the Best Way people a place to stick, you know, a thing that says, you know, this is, we're now doing the pay-as-you-throw, and please comply. List of the
The
bag vendors.
compliant stickers,
Yeah.
we'll give a 2-week grace. After the 2-week grace, then the compliant stickers will be on there, and that allows it, or-
Well, the way that
Well-
they explained it to me initially was the first week they would pick up everything.
okay?
They will stick a sticker on their recycle can, and it'll say, pay-as-you-throw is now started, you can buy the bags, blah, 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 and that, please comply. So the next time they would take, and they would take all the garbage. The next time, they take all the garbage but one. Your bag is not in compliance. Please purchase the town bags, whatever the thing was, and they would take everything but one bag. And the third time, they wouldn't take any bag that was not in compliance. Now, we can adjust that.
Yeah, why are they just,
Give people a chance to get used to the program and fair warning at each location.
That would actually be 3 weeks in,
The third week, under that scenario,
Right.
they would be leaving bags at the curb that were not in compliance.
right.
We could adjust it to make it 3 weeks or 1 week or no weeks, but that was the program as it was presented to me.
Well,
Right, but your motion right at this time is September...
3rd.
September 3rd to start pay-as-you-throw, and then we can talk further about the actual grace period,
Yeah, it's a grace period, amnesty period.
amnesty period, okay.
why don't we save that for when we're answering questions and discussing when
well, they
we
go hand in
announce the date?
hand. The day to start has to go
Right.
hand in hand with the grace period.
Right.
So if we're going to pick a time to start, then we really need to know about the grace period.
Well,
Yeah,
for the-
we-
Because
for the sake of
otherwise,
the
we may
motion
want to
that's on the
start
floor,
earlier.
though, do you want to include the grace period, or do you want to just vote on the motion that's on the floor now?
And then we'll
That's
go
what my
in.
question is, Catherine.
Yeah, I
We
want
can go right
to, I want
in.
to include the grace period
We can
because,
immediately make a
don't wanna-
motion for
I would
grace
like,
period.
I would like it to be 2, but I will make that motion, Kevin.
thank you. I just think that, I mean, it goes hand in hand.
It certainly
I'm
does.
fine with starting on the 3rd, as long as we have defined grace period, because people are going to come in here for information. It would be nice for us all to say, we don't have to say we have a date
Yep.
when they're there. We can announce that after we hear the input, make sure there's nothing hinky out there, but at least be able to say when we choose a date,
Right.
which will be soon, we hope, then this is how it's going to work. We're going to have a grace period of, I mean, it's got to be either 2 weeks or 4 weeks, doesn't it?
I think 2 weeks is plenty.
We've been practicing with the recycling bins.
Right, exactly.
So pay-as-you-throw should,
I would say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks is plenty.
so the grace period,
September 2nd gives a lot of people time to get bags and everything.
see, is that 2 weeks of pickup or 2 weeks of garbage?
2 weeks of
I mean,
garbage.
2 weeks of recycling?
No,
No,
2 weeks
2
of
weeks of
garbage.
garbage.
2 weeks of garbage, so
Third
then,
week of garbage.
You stuck in your sticker.
so we start the 3rd, we have a grace period until what? The week of the 15th?
Yes.
So the week of the 15th is when we say, look, you gotta have
Right.
Tilton bags.
We don't pick up on that day any bags that are not in compliance.
Okay. No bags will get picked up that week, and from there on out.
Right.
Correct. And there would be stickers
be
left on the
stickers.
bag. They just wouldn't drive by it. They
Now-
would stop and put a sticker on.
To make sure we all understand, they also can't bring those bags to Tilton.
That's right. The recycle center.
It has to be a
It's gotta
purple
be a
bag.
Tilton bag, okay.
Yes, if it's
Everybody
not a purple
needs the purple bag.
The highway won't let them leave it.
I'm good with that. That sounds like a plan.
Okay, September 3rd, start pay-as-you-throw. And then starting the week of September 17th, that is when they will not pick up after that.
That's correct.
If
I'm
you
going to
not-
make an official motion to that effect.
Do not have it in the purple bags, they will not pick up
That is
that
correct.
week.
So this is the start.
Okay?
This is the start
motion.
week.
We have a motion on the floor.
So
Well, we haven't
rescind the
voted on
motion
yet.
and rescind the motion and make one
Okay,
that
I will
includes...
do that. I will rescind my motion.
Okay,
And I'll rescind my second.
now make,
Madam Chair.
okay,
I would like to make a motion to begin the pay-as-you-throw garbage program in the town of Tilton commencing September 3rd. Furthermore, I would allow for a 2-week grace period, meaning that as of the 17th of September, if the bag is not in a town authorized, if the garbage is not in a town authorized bag, it will not be picked up.
Second.
all right, any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Everybody is in favor. Joe? Joe? Everybody is in favor.
I heard that. I heard that. I would like to take this
Joe,
chance to
we
thank all
have
of
a
you.
date.
I can't even tell you how excited I am, but trust me,
We can change our minds.
I vote no, Catherine. I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of the selectmen, all the employees of the town of Tilton, Town Hall, Public Works, and everybody who's had a part in this. It has been such a situation for so many people, and without naming all of them specifically, I thank you.
You're welcome.
And we thank
You.
you and the recycling committee for putting all this together. Amen to that. That was huge, huge work. And don't forget, we will, instituted by Norm.
Well, that was where I was going to go. I don't know if you've
Thank you,
had
thank you, Norm.
conversations with
Yes, I have.
Janice.
Yeah.
So I'm
We'll go into
absolutely
that later.
thrilled
Yeah.
that this is happening for Norm's benefit, if nothing else. That's
Okay.
Norm Boudreau.
All right. Next on the agenda, special details. Amend the ordinance. You got your,
I have mine. Joe, is your copy of this suggested ordinance change in your stuff? I put it in your pile last week, but
I haven't even gone through all of my pile.
let me make it easy.
I have warning, guilty of a misdemeanor, permit, is that the one? Hawkers and peddlers?
well, that's all done. Don't even
I
don't
missed
even
it?
bring that,
Hallelujah.
don't bring the word up.
Yes. I don't want to hear it for at least a
A
year.
year.
And then I'm not so sure.
Did the fees change?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
Not
that,
since you've
remember?
been here.
Okay, all right, I was just saying, what are they now?
No. No, that
Okay,
was,
never mind then,
that was funny.
No, I don't have that paper.
While you were away, we,
Well, you know, things happen. Hopefully it's not anthrax.
it's coming.
We'll see.
Do you want to move on to something else, or no?
So essentially what took place is
I'm absolutely stunned, I'm stunned. Well, we have a break in the action. I'm
We lost Joe for the evening on that.
No, but this is absolute, well, let me explain to you what happened. Here, look at this.
Nothing's changed
Just
on this one
received
from
this
last week?
little envelope
well, oh, yes, yeah, crossed out.
Okay, then I'll use
from
this
the
one.
cooking class that I do. So that should go to the senior.
It's up to you.
No, I would never accept money. I would never accept money for doing that. It was specifically for that program.
Probably
so,
to get ingredients, though.
I'm stunned by that.
I know, it's wonderful.
So I make a motion that we accept the kind donation of Betty
Aldro, yeah.
Aldro for the Tilton Senior Center.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And many thanks to Ms. O.
Oh, you got to give that to Catherine, yeah, thank you.
Oh, I didn't give him a copy of the original.
That's such a wonderful thing.
So this is a continuation of a couple of weeks ago. I wrote the top one, sent it to Bobby, and he created the middle one, and then I took both of them, because I took language directly from the original and created the bottom one. And then in discussion, as Sandy so wisely pointed out, I eliminated the sentence you'll see crossed out in yours that begins with contractors. Because she's right, it makes no sense.
I'm talking this one.
Right. So eliminated that all the way to. Like that.
Okay.
Did you give us a new one?
No.
That work,
You want a new one?
for you, Chief? Okay.
Trying to find my other one.
I have an extra one, because
Wait a minute.
You don't
I
know.
probably have it here.
Joyce isn't here.
So how much of that are we taking that whole last part out?
Everything besides the last.
Contractors,
Yeah.
that
Working,
whole sentence.
but the whole last thing is a sentence.
That's
No,
traffic.
the last one is the state of New Hampshire is exempt by statute.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah.
The
I just didn't
contractors are
see that
traffic.
period.
Is that what you would like? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, it's not what I would like.
What would you like?
4 weeks vacation on Bimini?
Okay, I'm headed.
If I can be the chaperone, I'll second it.
All right, done.
Sorry.
I got it.
Find it?
I got mine, yep. Okay, contractors working in the state of West.
Just leave the
Take
last.
that out completely. This ordinance shall not apply to the town of Tilton departments such as sewer, highway. However, town department heads or his or her designee shall consult the Tilton chief of police or his or her designee prior to any activity that will interfere with the normal flow of traffic or creates a safety hazard to determine what safety devices or trained safety personnel may be required. The safety of the public and workers is paramount, and all steps needed should be taken to ensure their safety.
By the state of New Hampshire exempt.
The only thing that I'm asking now, not that I'm trying to be picky, mind you, but where it's,
Okay, Catherine.
where it says here, however, town department heads, would that include the sewer commissioners?
Yep.
Because they aren't really department heads, are they?
They're
It
governing.
says such as sewer or highway, however, town department heads.
Yeah, but it says the ordinance does not apply to the town of Tilton departments such as sewer or highway.
Then leave out
However-
heads. Leave out heads and put town departments.
Yeah, town departments.
Just leave out heads. They can come without them.
Yeah, no heads here.
Some-
However, town departments. And actually, that covers everything.
Yes.
That covers the park commissioners, that
Right,
covers
right. That covers
everything. Town- Good point. Keep on
And
doing
now, who
that.
all would this be for?
Town departments. Any town department.
So, any town department, including sewer and highway, which they do now anyway,
Park
would have
commissioners,
to...
everybody, yep.
Yep. But now, does that mean that park commission, and I'm not nitpicking here, does that mean that, well, if they have to check with the chief and he says they need a detail, then they
And
need
then get a detail, right?
Right, let's say that we were doing something, and I can only think of it pertaining to the 132 ball field,
Right,
lights or something, and it meant working in the road
Yeah.
along Route 132. Then the park commissioners would have to confer with the chief.
and if he
Say,
says...
this
you
is
need-
what we're doing, and if they say that that town department has to have a detail, then
And all the subcontractors that commissions hired, they have to go through the...
they'd have to go through the process.
Right, okay.
Does this work for
Okay,
you,
now,
Chief?
the only thing that's not in here is, are you going to, the highway had to go through a training process in order to be able to do this without having a detail. Are we going to make the rest of the people that would be subject to the same thing, like sewer, shouldn't they have to go through the same process?
No, it's a trained safety personnel, so if they were in a situation where they had to hire somebody, to have somebody out there, it's either going to be a detail or trained safety personnel. So if the sewer commissioners are not trained,
Right,
then they're not going to be out there.
okay.
If they're going to hire a contractor to do the work, and the chief says, well, you don't need a police detail, but you need trained personnel, then that contractor's going to have trained
Trained personnel.
Certified flagger people.
Yep. So if you're going to have somebody in the road directing traffic, it's going to be police or trained personnel, not untrained.
Okay,
So I won't be out there.
Okay,
okay.
Hey, I just spin the sign around because I
And-
am on train.
may I ask,
Gabbing.
Bob, are you all right with that?
I am, yeah, I think that if it was a long job on a busy road, when I suggested a police detail for safety, I think the language covers it.
This really lays it all in your lap.
Yeah.
Or your designee.
Or my designation.
Or your
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
But that's where, because ultimately, you guys are the ones that are going to have to deal with the situation. So, as long as you're happy with the wording and you feel like that gives you the authority you need, that's really what I'm asking.
Right.
If
The
you
only
want
other,
something worded a little different, now's the time to tell us.
I think the only thing, I might add is maybe a definition of trained safety personnel,
Okay?
just so there's no gray area there.
That sounds good.
Good point.
Yes.
Tossing that out.
What is the definition for
What would you
trained?
write?
Is there a specific course that the New Hampshire DOT requires their flaggers to?
There is, there's a state-approved flagger course or a trained police officer, so I think those would be trained safety personnel.
Yeah.
Someone who's attended a state-approved flagger,
Could
traffic
you
safety.
change the word trained to certified and cover that?
What is certified?
State certified?
State certified.
You've gone to the course and
Yeah.
you now have this diploma,
Yeah, I think, yeah, that says,
or whatever, I mean, I don't know.
right.
I want to make sure that it covers those what-ifs.
Right. I just don't want any gray area where they say,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I've done that before.
So state personnel, state trained personnel, or police officers,
Right. State certified personnel.
or police officer.
Okay, state certified personnel.
Well, let's
The,
look up the name.
Yep. Or police
State
officer.
certified personnel or
Come on, blink, blink.
Yeah, I like that. I was gonna say, I have a copy, I unfortunately don't have it in my bag, of
What?
1,000,001 definitions.
What?
It's about this thick.
You
It's a
have what?
planner. I have
Wow.
a copy.
have
It's
it in
not in
your
my
bag?
bag, it's not
Wow.
in there. I emptied my bag out so I could carry it.
Good idea.
I stopped carrying it. I never had what I needed, so.
Well, my arm was
There it
getting a
is.
little longer than the other one, so I figured it.
See, Catherine has the advantage of a storeroom here.
Oh, yeah.
Flagger training and certification requirements. By state. Wow. Don't want to be from This is New Hampshire DOT. All flagging personnel shall be trained by a designated trainer at least every 4 years. The course shall cover the topics outlined under 3.2.1. Each flagger shall receive from the designated trainer a card or certification that provides the date of training and the designated trainer's name upon request by the contract. Administrator, contractors, and subcontractors shall provide verification of training within 48 hours.
Sounds good, so certified would be good. State certified personnel,
And/or police officer.
or police officer.
Oddly enough, are police officers certified to control traffic? That part of the process?
They are trained in it.
I'll just become cops, you'll be all set.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket.
Well, we've all heard of these cases, especially out on the highways and stuff, of even policemen getting run over and maimed
Oh, yeah.
and killed. You know, or people doing terrible things as they pass by, like throwing bottles at them and stuff. So they need the training,
Oh, yes.
so. I don't
Covered
want
under
anybody-
duck. An official course, Steve? Duck. Duck.
Did he just say that?
It should be.
Duck?
I'm a selectman, you know.
Do you know that? That's the
Yeah.
question.
At least till March.
Don't go there.
We're not talking about that either, huh?
Nope. There's certain things that are on the,
Okay, they're not,
done
it's
with
not
those
on the
things
agenda.
list.
So is the wording of this worked out?
I haven't heard a motion yet.
Well, I think Catherine's just trying to,
Let's hold it till the end, and I'll get language that
okay,
pulls in the New Hampshire DOT definition. So
Okay.
we're very specific, and there's no gray area.
right,
Okay.
I'm looking for a administrative rule to quote.
okay. Sounds good. As we all know, if there's a gray spot anywhere, they will find it.
You are so right.
Where is Joyce, by the way?
Vacation.
should be coming up. She was
Downstairs.
working on something.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
We'll
I-
come back to this.
Oh, that's Cindy, never mind.
Minutes. Seeing as how Joyce isn't here, we're moving right along. Oh, there's one subject that's going to take a little bit longer, if you want to discuss that,
Sure.
of which I'm going to abstain from. The issue on town clerk, tax collector, wage increase.
Really?
We cannot
Hell, it just for you.
call it a,
Excellent.
we learned, when's the last time you were here? You don't know, right?
I was here the day we did the evaluations.
The first time.
We
You weren't here for the
learned that
second
we cannot,
evaluation.
we learned,
No, I was not here for the department heads.
okay, so we learned that we cannot, because it's not, she is an elected official, cannot do a merit increase.
You can do an increase,
you can
but
do
it
an
cannot be
increase,
based on
but
merit
not
or
a-
evaluation.
Not a merit increase. The way typically it is supposed to be done, the right way, is that you go to town meeting, but budget, 'cause I'm sorry, you put it in the budget,
That's not what local government.
it's approved at town meeting,
It's not-
and that's when it gets the money. That's the townspeople that say yay or nay to the increase, not the selectmen.
No, not what Paul Sanderson said.
Pause, debate,
Pause for a debate.
1 minute. As you know, you knew that was coming, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, we're waiting for that.
I have it in the email right here.
Did we get it? I didn't get one.
It's like half the price of Green Mountain. Really? So I have some, the one that they said was the mildest is,
I'm gonna have to turn this computer off. Well, that's my email.
didn't you
We
like it?
ran out, I don't know, we have
You shut your computer off?
Yeah, they sell it at BJ's. Just
2 boxes and
Cindy did that.
All right.
Then she can read it.
just tell me what
we haven't opened it. So I'm glad it's open. That's what it looks like.
The only way we can
I do too.
do monies is to take it out of, transfer monies out, not call it a merit increase, and say that it's an increase.
And we just move it from one part of the budget to her budget? Her salary line? All right. Did you hear that, Catherine?
Yeah, I just wanted Joe to have the benefit of the,
It's from Christine. Can we read it out loud? I have consulted with Attorney Paul Sanderson of our office. He is away from the office today. He spoke with Pat Constantino yesterday about the situation. Attorney Sanderson was asked whether the town clerk tax collector was covered by the current merit increase, and he explained that she is not because she is not an employee. She is compensated based on the appropriation made for that office at town meeting regardless of performance during the year. He did not say that she could not be given a raise, but merely that if there were available funds in the budget, the selectmen may choose to exercise their authority to transfer funds from such other area of the budget into the town clerk tax collector's budget and pay her more. There was no discussion about where the compensation for that position needs to be in the budget. Some towns separate it, some others don't.
Okay?
So where do we go from here?
I guess that's a discussion. There,
It's coming.
Now, there is no evaluation for the town.
That's correct.
Tax collector.
You can't because she's an elected official. We cannot have an evaluation for her.
She did give us one, and we gave it back without opening it.
Because it's illegal for us to do that.
Right.
To even open it?
Well,
No,
to accept an evaluate, we can't evaluate, selectmen cannot evaluate the town clerk tax collector.
I understood that, yep.
So we gave it back to her.
I'm sure I couldn't have looked.
We are, huh?
We could have looked at it, but it didn't make any sense.
Why?
Didn't do anything with it.
Wouldn't have made any sense to look at.
Yeah,
We
you're
already
right.
know what it's going to say.
Absolutely. Well, we have a dead spot. I got a little piece of business.
Do we have a dead spot? I thought we were talking about it.
About who? Oh, all right.
The issue. We had to bring it up.
What is to be done?
Well,
It's, you need to
Unless
decide
somebody-
whether or not you want to transfer monies out
No,
and compensate her for
in excess
increase.
of the budgeted amount, right?
You have to consider the
Well,
fact.
that's what this is about, is
No.
giving her an increase in excess of the budgeted amount. I'm opposed to that.
I don't think it's that
We have a budgeted amount, and if the tax collector, town clerk, thinks that she should have an increase, or that position should have an increase, it should be included with the budget.
It is.
The increase?
Year after year, we have included that raise in the budget for that position, whether it's elected employee or what. The town clerk
as a merit
and tax
increase.
collector has been
well.
in there as a raise, whether we were doing merit raises, then there were a time that they were automatic because we had steps, and then we went back to merits. It's gone back and forth for years. Town meeting, was it year before last, 2 years in a row, discussed the raise for the town clerk tax collector. So when they voted for the budget, they were aware that there's a raise in there for that position. So to say it was not part of the budget is false. It is part of the budget. The budget committee knows it, and town meeting voted for it. So they, in effect, when they voted in the raises, understood that they were voting in a raise for that position.
They voted us a merit raise pool, correct?
right.
Correct. There was no raise.
Isn't it listed as merit raises on the line?
It's
Yeah.
listed as one line item for the entire.
Merit raise.
Merit raise.
People voted for merit raises for those individuals that are subject to receiving merit raises.
They voted for raises.
In all fairness,
They voted to give us a pool in order for us to
To
decide.
determine whether or not it was eligible for a raise. Some didn't get
I
an
understand
automatic
that.
percentage. They left that up to a certain percentage. It wasn't automatic. Everybody did not get an automatic raise.
That was the purpose of all the evaluations we did.
Personally, I'd feel uncomfortable with the process.
I think that we need to continue what we have done. The Board of Selectmen is a continuing board, and that has been the practice since the individual that's in that position was put in that position. And if we want to alter it in some way, then we should do it at this town meeting so that it's clear and transparent and not create our own synopsis of what might be there. It's obvious the town meeting, it's in the budget, whether you want to call it merit or not. It's a raise. I think it'd be unconscionable for us not to put a raise in for that position.
well, if I'm gonna base on a raise, you gotta base it on, we base raises, we can't base it on anything, because we can't evaluate it.
Well, we don't base it on anything for 90% of the police department. It's automatic.
contractual.
Whether it's contractual, elected,
We
employee,
agreed to that,
it's a wage, it's a raise.
but
Town meeting voted on it,
Their
just like
contract.
town meeting voted on this raise.
Town meeting voted on the contract
Right.
for the police department, which included those raises.
They didn't vote on the contract, they simply voted on the amounts. Town meeting didn't have privy to the contract.
We did.
We did.
We
The
brought
town
it
meeting
forth to
didn't.
town meeting, and town meeting approved it.
The amounts.
Right.
That's
not the
what I'm
contract.
saying.
No, you said the contract.
I
They
said
approved
that-
the amount.
I said, we approved the amount. We approved the contract. The town people approved the amounts in those contract. Therefore, it's contractual, and we are bounded by that, regardless of what we do.
Right, we have no choice.
Madam Chair,
Exactly. That's
Town
not
meeting
the
voted
case.
for it. We
That
have
is
no
not the
choice.
case with,
Actually, we do, we can
I'm going to
eliminate
step
the
aside on this when
positions.
you run it for this.
All right. Yes, Joe?
I'd like to make a motion to
Okay.
increase the salary of the town clerk tax collector by 2.5%.
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I think it's silly. That's it.
Okay, all those in favor? All those in favor of the motion?
Al, I think, has a comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, no? Okay, all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed to the
Aye.
motion?
Aye.
I'll abstain, because I'm not there,
Passes.
so.
Okay, so that's 1 yay, 2 nays, and 2 abstentions.
So that's 3 to 1, 2 to 1.
Till the motion fails.
All
Is that
right,
what you're saying? I thought you voted yes. Motion fails. Will you make certain that it shows in the record that I voted yes?
Yes.
To that, please?
I have it down.
Okay, moving on. Joyce, we're ready for you if you're ready.
No one?
We can go to the minutes?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm waiting for Scott to resend me something that you're going to need.
Okay, got it,
So
got
I've got to
it.
hook up and print it out.
Okay. We'll go to the minutes.
I make a motion, we bring the minutes of July 18th to the floor for discussion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Yes.
Summer what is school?
Tell me what?
Huh?
Where?
Right here, the third line down from Jim Doan.
Camp should be,
Oh, camp.
Camp with a P.
third line down under Jim Doan.
Got it.
Summer camp is full.
I see it, yep. I got the key.
I really enjoyed that update by him.
Yeah, I did too.
It's very informative.
Yep.
Under Town Administrator Agenda Items, just about halfway down, not knowing exactly what to do, I phoned the local police. Should put a P in front of that.
I didn't know what to do.
Did anyone follow up on that? Is there a new flag there now
I don't know.
at Northway?
At the Northway Bank? Joyce, do you know whether there's a new flag now at the Northway Bank?
No, I followed up with Barbara Lawler. She doesn't have an answer for me yet, but she's going to get in touch with me early next week. And I also emailed the state police headquarters to get the name of the trooper
Officer.
and explain why, that's the selectmen, so I'm waiting to hear back from that. But it's still working, we're still in
Okay.
process.
Did anybody look to see if it was there?
There's no flag there now. I did look last week. But the pole and everything, it's just all completely overgrown. You can barely even see the
So it
pole.
needs to be cleaned.
Well, they're not maintaining the vegetation over there at that parking lot at all, anywhere.
If I can get this up and running, I'll print out the email that I got from
Okay.
Oh, this place.
Yeah. the park. See, there's a flag. Did you read that email from that gentleman?
Oh, you didn't? Oh, that's great.
I couldn't even talk. I was just trying to tell my husband about it. I was so emotional. The state trooper.
Oh, here, I did print it out, if you want me to read it. It says, "Hi Joyce, I reached out to our senior management team to see what has transpired. One of the primary folks working on this is out until sometime next week, so I'm confident that we should have a response soon. I do know that we have removed the tattered flag. As soon as we have a resolution, we'll be in touch. I plan to stop by over the next couple of weeks as well to catch up with you and learn a bit more about this great community."
Okay.
Of the letter or this?
That,
Oh, of this here? Yeah. Does this have the letter? Yeah, this has the letter.
oh, I have all that. From the municipality.
Yeah. So here, you want to read that chief?
This is the letter, Chief, from Mr. Howard.
On page 5, the top of the page, it's where it starts out, Chair Constantino, the second line, policy ordinance regarding people mowing lawns and blow the grass. Shouldn't it be blowing the grass? Or blow,
Got it.
and blowing the grass clippings out into the street?
It'll be warm in here with all those people.
Turn more fans on.
Yep, I've got it on my list. You can bring it up if you want.
Is there any more corrections, changes,
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of July 18th, 2013 as corrected.
Second.
all those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Isn't that something? Yeah.
He hasn't sent it yet, but I can at least...
okay, we wanted to, one more, we got a question for the chief. The parking attendant, the parking enforcer, is that how you say it, enforcement officer? Where has he been, what's he up to?
Yeah, I was asking.
He was away at a camp for a couple of weeks. He comes back August 11th. And, he intends to, at least on a part-time basis, try and finish out the year.
Do we have any backup?
We don't, I'd like to.
Well,
Yeah, I'd
when
like
we
to.
first came on board, we had a backup so that they could split the hours, so we could always have somebody out there, because if we have this lag where nobody's out there, then we can't properly do the program. No, that's my opinion, anyway. Now, how the board feels.
Well, he hasn't been out there since, what, July? What is it? When's the last time he was out there?
Do you have alternatives to the program? To
Well, there's a couple...
candidates?
Yeah, there's a couple people that have called in and asked if they can apply and if there's an opening there, part-time, and so, I can proceed with that and set up like a little oral board for a part-time call person to replace when he's not here. We still have, plenty to get through the year. We still have 76% of the amount of money budgeted available, so the money's there to have a call person. And so if it's okay with the board, I'd proceed just like
How long will it take to get somebody as an alternative?
probably a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
By then he'll be back?
Yeah,
But then,
I think it would still
that
be
it's only
good
on a part-time basis because he's going back.
to school, yeah. So, I mean, it would be good to have a second person like we did before.
My vote would be yes. What does the board think?
Well, we should have somebody out there.
Yeah, we need somebody out there, so I would say yes.
Okay, so I'll start with that and keep the board appraised of how it's going.
Everybody okay with that?
I think that the code enforcement downtown, the parking enforcement, has taken a turn for the better since we've had that individual.
Being back out there.
If we're not going to enforce it, we might as well just throw it out.
It's been almost a month ago.
The candy's out of the freezer, they're cold right now.
Put some down that end.
Okay, well, I just took them out of the bag.
All right, I know how to get up and walk down there. Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that the town of Tilton send a postcard to every residential unit or structure affected by the pay-as-you-throw garbage program, alerting them to the fact that the bags are not now on sale, where those sale locations are, and a notice on the bottom that use of the town-authorized bags is required as of September 3rd, 2013.
I'll second that motion.
Fair warning. A lot of people will figure it out, seeing the signs in the windows and stuff, but I think if I've learned nothing from this process, it's that you can't notify people enough.
You notice how he slid that motion in?
Yeah.
Just
I was
very
trying to do
nicely?
that earlier, but we were having a discussion. I was looking at the lull, see?
Okay. Is there any discussion on that motion?
And I have a mock-up, I had on my computer, but I want to pass that down. That's the basic gist of it. Short and sweet, a list, the start date, bags are on sale. Maybe I could put something at the bottom, if you have any questions, call Pat Constantino.
Yeah, right. I'll get a fourth battery for my phone. Okay, if there's no discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the motion to send out a
Postcard?
postcard, is this
Substantially as it's written
Selectmen,
there.
or do you,
Town of Tilton Selectmen, Selectmen. As the recycle committee in and of itself has no authority. Anything that they recommend that the select board, feels in agreement with, it should still have the,
should we wait for that, for partnership and what they, did they,
oh no, this is what we
this is
came
what
up
they
with.
came up with?
This
Okay.
is what we came up with.
Watch. Every time I got close,
Okay. All those in favor?
Yes?
Yes?
aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Okay.
Just go to you, Joyce.
Why don't you give it to Catherine?
Thank you, Joe.
I'm just waiting for Scott to send me, this is the eviction notice that's going to be served,
Okay.
and the state uses forms.
Oh,
There are not 5 signature lines, but he can submit the form, he can download the form in PDF, and he's going in now and trying to put in 5 signature lines. That's what I'm waiting for. But this is what it is, and so if you want to take a look at it, so when it does come, you'll know where to sign. In talking with him, because there's certain dates that I'm recommending that the board make the eviction date September 15th. This allows a full 30 days, more than 30 days, from the time the officer serves the eviction notice, and you don't want to count the date of service or the date that you're signing it.
September 15th, you said?
No, September 3rd. I'm sorry, September 15th. So that gives
Madam
another
Chairman,
full...
I'd like to make a motion that we make the date of the eviction September 13th, 2013.
15.
15th. See what you've got me doing, Joyce.
Sorry.
Second,
The 3rd.
15th.
second.
I just combined them together, made it
So
the
I'll
13th.
put that date, and then, Chief, could one of
But
your...
for the sake of discussion is,
Technically, there's a vote that has...
what, right, you want it to be the 15th, and then they have 30 days after that, or is it 90 days? How does that work?
No, this is for the eviction notice. It's
Right.
30 days.
30 days.
Does it say in his cover letter up top?
So as soon as it's served, from that day forward, they have 30 days.
Yes.
32 days from the date of service.
Right, because you don't count...
Calculate 30 days from the date of service, exclusive of the date of service and the date they need to be out, essentially 32 days from the date of service. In-hand service is necessary, not abode service.
And what happens if nothing happens by the 15th, then we file what's called a writ of summons with the court, and then you would go there with the sheriff and escort them.
And then there's a scene.
I've done that.
What does this mean right here?
Joyce, at that point, there's a scene.
No, I think that we can make progress, and the other thing I was going to ask the board is, I would like to, I'll have to get this from another department, but the contact information for the daughter, and I'd like to contact the daughter on behalf of the board.
Right.
A copy of this is also being sent to Sarah Matson.
Yes.
I'd like to call the question.
Oh, it's just a,
I just asked a question.
it's just a form that you can choose all these different things.
To do, and then he's just...
He's just chosen the eviction.
The eviction,
Yeah,
okay.
this is something else.
Right. Thank you.
Look at these.
I appreciate it. All right. All those in favor of the eviction?
Of signing the eviction notice, and having it served.
For the 15th of September.
15th of
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye.
Go figure.
And then it's okay if I get the information relative.
I'm just having trouble with 30 days.
Why?
Well,
Aye.
it's more than 30.
32.
Exactly more than 30, yeah.
32. That's what that letter says, 32.
But it's the 15th, right?
Yeah.
So it's more than 30. I gotta serve it tomorrow.
Yep.
Way more.
Yeah, it's
That's
more than
almost
that. They serve it
month and a
tomorrow,
half,
that's
about 6
almost
weeks.
6 weeks.
6, that's 7 weekends.
Yes.
Yeah. And theoretically, she's supposed to have been looking for a place.
Yes.
There is activity there.
Heather is supposed to be.
Okay, and then the other thing is, Scott's office did complete the title search, so I have the names and addresses of who needs to be notified. I just need to forward to Cindy the liens that are recorded, so she can just double check. And also, we need to go through our records, just to make sure that, and total everything up.
Yep.
And I'll double check with Heather
Yep.
on her amount, so that I can prepare what are called the RSA 80, 89 letters,
Right.
because we need a dollar amount.
Yep.
Okay?
And also, you had spoken about getting together with the auctioneer,
Yes.
so you want me to
Think
go
we
ahead and
need to do
schedule
that.
for you to
Yes.
talk with him?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Sooner than later, because there has to be a period of time where you have to have a visual beyond what's there.
Yeah.
If we want to recoup, if we're doing
Yes.
due diligence to recoup the town's.
Because we
Investment.
will have to pay to have some of that carted away.
I would like to say that we need to make sure every T is crossed, I is dotted, that we have all the appropriate documentation from the town clerk, tax collector's office, and every other department. I don't want to get twisted in the wind on this.
Right.
Especially when there are some undischarged liens where, from banks that have been purchased by other banks that have been purchased by other banks.
Right.
Right.
So just to make sure we're covered in terms of who we're notifying, so it doesn't come back and
Absolutely.
bite us.
Yep.
Okay. And that the town recoups.
That's correct.
All right, so we're moving forward on that. So that's good. All right. Just quickly to go back to pay-as-you-throw. So this is very exciting. Before I make any more copies of these, plus I've had Sarah lighten it so that I'm not using so much ink. Can you pass those down? I did run some tests on stock that we could hand out tonight. But the two things. One, people have already received this information in their letter.
Right.
On what is recyclable, what isn't, and then we've also added what's hazardous waste.
Right.
So this will be a duplicate of what they've received already, but makes...
Most people have received.
Right. Well, we had two letters, and both letters had this inserted within the document. But the important thing, if you flip around on the back, I think will be very helpful, which is shaded areas showing through the rest of the year what the recycling bin weeks are.
Nice.
We circled the dates for fall cleanup,
Right.
the dates, and told them the location. This information was taken directly from our town report, and I confirmed everything with Dennis.
Right.
Okay, and then the only holiday that's being observed during this 6-month period is November 28th as Thanksgiving. So we're fortunate that...
21st.
No, it's the 28th.
Well, the
I-
21st is crossed out, though.
That's the old ones.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I gave you the old ones.
Mine's not close to it.
I have 21st.
Yeah, I got the 21st.
I'm sorry, take these. I was just trying to reuse, reduce, reuse,
That's a
recycle.
confusion, yep. Oh, this is much better.
And we're glad you did.
I always thought it was
Joyce.
the last Thursday.
Yes.
What a waste of paper.
I confirmed that with our state calendar, and I called Heather at
Is this the
Bestway
good
to
one?
make sure.
Right.
No more confusion.
Isn't Winnisquam spelled incorrectly? It's just a technicality, but
WINNISQUAM, yes, it's
Yep.
spelled wrong.
Okay,
There's no E, it's an I.
Yeah, it's an I.
we can fix that. Boy, I
If you
missed
want to
that
go
one.
back to the old WINNIPCOG, and
Nah, I never really liked that spelling.
that's the Indian name.
I know it is, but
The only ones I've printed so far.
Winnisquam is between the lakes.
Now, is it correct, these are the stores? And-
it is correct.
Okay, and town offices are still included?
It is correct.
Do we change town office to town hall? Or is town office fine?
It is town hall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Town office.
Town hall is
Town
what
office.
people generally know it, but there's only one of them, so they should figure it out.
Okay.
is it easy to change, or is it,
Well, we have to change the spelling on Winnisquam, right?
Yeah, we gotta change that.
Well,
Right.
change it.
I would prefer town hall with
Town hall, yeah.
everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows
This
it
is
as
the
town
first
hall.
I've actually laid
They might
eyes on
say,
this
"What
paper.
town office is
I've seen
this?"
versions of it, but
Okay, and then the other thing we changed from the other one you had is we're talking about the transfer station. We'll continue to accept the following items, and again, this is directly from our town report. From April 1st to November 1st for a fee, these are all the things that are collected at the highway garage.
Right.
And then people call and have questions, well, what am I supposed to do on November 2nd if I've got a refrigerator to get rid of? And the answer is, well, you hold on to it until the spring when we start collecting
Right.
that again.
Those appliances.
But it's only,
Until
it's only
1st of
till
November.
the 1st of April to this November 1st, that's it.
Yeah, we have to readdress this because this has changed from the original. Our fall and spring cleanup is different from what we started. That's why some people are confused. It's different. I have the whole log in a folder over there.
You mean the dates that they've
No, the
chosen?
things
or-
that we accept.
It is different between spring and fall.
Right.
That's why we have
But
two different.
even, yeah, it's different. It's changed. I've had numerous people come up to me and ask me why we changed it. I don't remember the selectmen changing it.
Might be a
That's
function of what they're actually accepting at these
No, it's
places.
been for a while.
Will be in, so we can, because I know he's always had the board approve anything.
Well, we
before
can't, we shouldn't change it now because
Right.
October is in
Right,
the annual.
right.
What I'm saying is we should look at it for 2014.
For what we accept and what we don't?
Right. And I know some of them were changed because some of the programs weren't available. There was some entity at one time that was collecting all the computer stuff, and then he stopped, and then various things, but, you know, the whole idea of the spring cleanup was to keep things from being deposited on the side of the road. And I'm here to tell you, I'm sick of picking up tires. And if I pick up one more toilet in my woods,
Thank you.
I'm gonna start lining them up on the side.
They actually walk from the side of the road to your
Actually, you
woods?
put flowers in them, Catherine, and they make very nice planters.
They hold
I had
water
one, I
well.
would use it.
Yeah, and they hold water well.
Fixtures
Mosquitoes, what they do is they become
Bathroom
breeding grounds for
fixtures
mosquitoes.
are covered under construction demolition materials.
Okay.
Anybody out there, just smash up your porcelain and it becomes garbage. Well, it must be recyclable.
We'll use
once it's
these.
smashed.
I think, see,
Internally.
construction and demolition, maybe.
Okay, just some follow-up items from last week. I did send information to the town clerk tax collector as to why timesheets are required for New Hampshire retirement system, and she's producing timesheets now. I'm working on 2 accident reports, one from the police department, which I believe I mentioned last week. I'm still waiting for the report from the state trooper, but I do have our internal police department report, and I'm filing that with our insurance. And the other one had to do with a cracked windshield when the guys were weed whacking, and a rock or something kicked up and broke a windshield. And I know I had asked last week if the board could set aside some time to talk about the Silver Lake Road. Those comments are
Right.
due. So are you ready to do that now, or you want me to continue on with little miscellaneous?
That goes in.
Well, I'm not an engineer. I'll make a motion, we accept the Silver Lake Road audit.
Now, I didn't find anything,
I did.
did
Yeah.
you?
Lots
What
of
did you
stuff.
find?
I was gonna say, I'm
Oh,
not an
will be me.
engineer, but
Do you,
It
would,
sucks, would be me.
do you want to work with Joyce in, do you want to work with Joyce and construct a response from the Board of Selectmen?
I can do that. I send them a personal response.
Okay.
But you only have, when do they want it? Monday?
Tomorrow.
No, tomorrow.
no. Close the business, no, yesterday, right? July 31st.
No, I thought it was August
August 2nd.
2nd,
Oh,
which is
all right.
tomorrow.
All right. What parts of it didn't you,
Right, you just leave.
Well, I corrected some details in it. It's not a southerly direction, it's an east-west direction through there. They did mention very little about speed and the effect on speed. Was that you again? They talked about warning vehicles, motorists, as they're coming into the section with interesting signs, but, you know, how about dangerous intersection up ahead, or, you know, how about reducing the speed limit? I didn't see that in there, because I think speed is a huge factor there. I mean, some of the things they write about is they talked about when you're leaving Silver Lake Road. I know when I leave Silver Lake Road, I'll pull into a shorter hole, if you will, than I normally would.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I mean,
do that.
I'm sitting there and I'm ready to go and I'm gunning across the way, but if you look at their concepts that they suggested, I mean, some of the things are good, but some of the things just don't make any sense to me, unless you control the speed. Now, the one that's controlling the speed doesn't talk about any signs that indicate we're going to reduce the speed,
Right.
and signs warning that the speed is reduced,
Yeah.
you know? They want to have rumble strips there, and they said it there in there themselves, that those rumble strips are going to disturb the neighbors, because there's homes there, people sleeping, those rumble strips are pretty loud.
Yep.
If they don't realign the intersection, when I pull up to Silver Lake Road and I'm turning left, you don't pull up straight, because if you go like this to look, you can't see. So when you pull up to the intersection to turn,
Yeah.
you've turned your vehicle.
Right.
So now you've reduced the mouth of the intersection, so cars trying to turn in there, especially cars turning west, almost can't do it because your vehicle's in the way.
And you've already started the action.
And I'm crawling out, so now I've reduced this lane to less than its normal size.
Right.
And then they want to add passing lanes, which makes no sense at all. So now instead of dealing with 2 lanes of traffic, I'm going to be dealing with 3 or 4.
Well, I think that there's a turn but one thing was a potential turn lane coming from Tilton onto Silver Lake, and a potential turn lane turning into Silver Lake as you're coming from Laconia. The only passing lane would have been to extend the road to the right, just like there is
Well, I
up in front of,
I meant turn lanes, because I'm
Rusty's.
thinking of the cars that are going to be
Yeah.
passing those cars.
Yeah.
So you got cars waiting to turn, and then, the problem is you've got that store right there.
Yeah.
So cars coming down, they're going to stop in that lane to turn left. Well, then there's going to be cars that go around them that actually want to turn left into Silver Lake Road.
Right.
And then they want to continue the crosswalk, the sidewalk, through that parking lot. Well, are they just going to paint the lines? Because you don't want to shorten that mouth of the parking lot, because
actually,
sometimes I cheat.
they do want to, that's
Yeah, they
exactly,
do.
every diagram I saw
Right.
had barriers and a curb cut
Yep.
in front of that store.
Right.
And that's just going to make it harder for people to get out of the road and get in there.
Yep.
And if you leave the pedestrian traffic in front of the store the way it is, now they come down the sidewalk, they don't walk along Route 3 in the entrance to the parking lot, they walk along the store and then cut to the side of the store, and they're away from the intersection. Those pedestrians are not a factor. People coming headed west, pedestrians, going down Silver Lake Road, are not a factor, because they're out of the intersection. They put a crosswalk there, a designated crosswalk. Now they're bringing those pedestrians into the action.
Right.
The problem with the pedestrians are those who are crossing the street. They park and they go, oh, hey, let's go over there and have a sandwich. Now they think they're going to walk across Route 3.
I've seen that happen. That's
insane.
not an occurrence that happens often, but when it does, I've seen mothers with little children being dragged across that highway. Somebody will come over the rise and they, oh, it's good, it's good. They come flying at 55 or 60 over the crest of that hill
Yeah.
and sitting ducks.
Exactly.
And
So
I do believe we've got to do a better job of enforcing the speed limit on Route 3 in that area.
They talk about the shoulders of US Route 311 being 4 feet wide in that area.
By a
Well, in a
broken
couple
road.
of places they are.
Right.
But you know what? In most places, they're not.
Right.
The shoulder that goes past on the nursery side really isn't a shoulder because it's full of signs and stuff.
Yes.
And then on the other side of the road, the state of New Hampshire may have a 4-foot right-of-way, but that 4-foot right-of-way has become somebody's lawn. So unless they're going to take down that lawn and designate this is the 4-foot right-of-way, and they cut everything back and they move those telephone poles back, it makes no sense at all to say it's got a 4-foot right-of-way.
Right next to
Right across from Silver Lake Road.
Okay.
I mean, you've got a bridge crossing there. Come on, there's no 4-foot.
Jim,
Yeah.
not Belair, yeah, I
You
know.
don't have 4-foot shoulders through there, and you certainly don't have them on the south side of the road heading east.
No.
There's a sidewalk right there, and it's elevated. So, as you can see, I have some issues.
Yeah. I've just resigned myself. If I'm coming off of Silver Lake Road, like when I go to Winnisquam, the nursery there, I just always make a right. I go down somewhere and find a place to turn around.
Yeah, say, come up Church Street.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is,
do the
is
Church
they
Street
looked at it in the fall. I mean, they were selling Christmas trees, come on, we know what the traffic's like then. They should be there this Friday, they want to see some traffic?
How about today?
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get out of my road, my road,
You know?
Silver Lake Road.
Yeah.
I sat there last night and went, stupid. I actually turned around and turned in Mohawk, backed up, turned in and went over to Church Street. They just, you know.
So we
And then
need,
you take a right on Route 3, and then you take a left up Lancaster Hill, and you come out on Grange, you take a right, and you go home.
Yep.
Works every time. But, yeah, no, I've got a lot of issues.
Did you say you sent in what your issues were? So that
I
they
sent them
have
in just, I didn't represent the Board of Selectmen with my
Right.
issues. 'cause
Oh, I understand
so
that,
can
but
we resend with Joyce?
Or we can, Joyce and I could create something much more intelligent.
Okay.
Than what I sent.
And I would
Some of it was
withdraw
a
my
bit
motion.
ranting.
For consideration.
Yeah, I'm around all day tomorrow, or if you just want to send me what you sent, I'll reformat it.
Into something,
Oh, that'd be great, okay.
And then I can just send it on behalf of the board.
right.
That way you
Yes.
don't have to all come in, and I'll just say at the last night's selectmen's meeting, the
Right.
board reviewed the report, and this is their consensus.
right,
Does everybody agree with that?
I agree.
Okay.
That way they've got something in their file documented from the board. And proof that it's been discussed. Okay.
Can we go back to this for a second for the meeting? Because I don't think a decision was made. You said you were going to print more of these up.
Well, Sarah's the one that designed this. She's made the edits I've asked her, so I can, she's probably en route now to come
Okay.
here. But she'll make those changes so that I'll have something that we can, this is what we'll be handing out.
I like it on this paper, because you know, you can hang this up on your refrigerator.
Right.
This is nice.
The warrant for unlicensed dogs, we sent it out, and theoretically, the police went around door to door or contacted these people and said, you know, you've got a dog, you need to license it. Now we have these left that I assume weren't contacted, didn't respond. What do we know?
I don't have a clue.
That's what Cindy handed me.
We don't know. That was in the bin just right before we came upstairs. Right, she gave that to you to give to the selectmen to
They are-
sign tonight?
Yes.
They are letters that they got from veterinarians that say that they own a dog, and
Right, but what is the results of the police going around? Do we have a copy of that to know whether or not these people were not at home, not contacted,
Cindy questioned.
refused to license their dog?
good question, is she still here?
Want me to call her?
Yeah, just ask her. Or I can do it. You're on.
Okay.
Those are good ones?
No, these have to have Winnisquam changed in town hall, but
Okay.
these were just some mock.
But at least they give us what people can recycle. I mean, that's okay.
I thought we signed
Right.
it all. Is this another one?
Cindy, we were just questions on the dog warrant. Yes, this dog warrant that you wanted us to sign. What was the outcome of the police going around and 3 or 4 left on the warrant that haven't,
There's a lot more left on this list than 3 or 4.
hang on just a second. What, Catherine?
There's more than 3 or 4 on this warrant.
Catherine says there's more than 3 or 4 on the warrant. Is that the second warrant?
Yes.
Yes.
It's dated August 4, this is dated August 1st.
Right,
She's
that's the
coming up.
second warrant.
Well, it's a month old.
August 1st
She
is
said
today.
there was only 3 or 4 and that they would be going to court.
Sorry. I'm already into September. Just skip over this month.
I was gonna say, we just started August.
1, 2,
This is an update I got on Ernie's. First of all, I believe I emailed to everybody a copy of the interim remedial action plan.
Yep, got that.
Okay. DES has reviewed and responded to that plan. I'm sorry, she's reviewed it and will be getting back to us at the beginning of next week. They've discussed the additional petroleum assessment scope of work with her, and they're approved to start work on that. And they'll be starting doing some pre-marked soil borings for DigSafe next week, and that they're hoping to have drillers scheduled for August 14th and tentatively August 15th if necessary. I did email back and forth with Rip Patton, and next Thursday at 11:30, he's going to be up here, and we're going to be meeting on site. I've reviewed that report, but I've got some questions and just how everything's going to fit in between what's being paid by EPA, what's being paid by insurance, what's going to be paid by the state. So we're going to sit down face-to-face and do that. But if you're around at 11:30 next Thursday, you're more than welcome to join us.
All right.
We'll probably come to the office first, and then we'll just go out on the site. It's been a while since I walked around. See, and then that night, I'll have more information for you at the select.
Okay.
They should either, you're talking about Ernie's, right? They should either take down the fence or put it up. They did a great job putting that fence up around the dirt piles, but now that the dirt piles are gone, the fence, there's tape and stuff is just kind of hanging.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that Ken Norton did that. Didn't he do something over Old Home Day to keep people out of there?
I don't know, whoever did, whoever
During
did, they did a great
So
job.
remove the...
But now it needs to get picked up because it looks pretty crappy.
It was during the kayak stuff.
Yeah, and things are starting to get overgrown again.
Yep.
Okay, and then as far as the DOT land purchase, I received the Mylar today, and Conservation Commission, and the attorneys approved it, Concom's approved it. So I'm going to run it up and have it recorded at the registry tomorrow. As soon as I get that plan number, then I call Jim Sessler, and that plan number goes on the deed. And we're just, then that gets entered, and then we're just waiting for the Commissioner of Transportation to...
Okay,
Very nice.
very good.
Tim's got everything all set up with the ACH's
Safety personnel.
Conservation Fund to the state, and we're just waiting for the deed. Everything else is all set. And at some point, the Conservation Commission wants to have some sort of acknowledgement or function or something, maybe out on that parcel and get some PR. And
Yep. Yeah, I can
That's
appreciate
good.
that. Catherine, did you want to ask your questions?
There's like 15 or 16 people still in the dog warrant.
No, that's the second warrant. The first warrant that we did, there's 5 people left. They have not come in or paid. We've been making more phone calls too, as long as the police have been doing it too. So they're still on. The next step for those people is court. These are new dogs that came in months ago. They've been sent letters. They haven't come in. So we do another civil forfeiture on these. You could do these all year long.
Yeah, but this says, please be advised that the dog owners contained in the enclosed letters have not responded to my request, and there's about 15 or 16 of them.
Yeah, that's the new warrant.
The new
Right,
one.
well, that's what I'm saying. Were
There was
these,
2 warrants.
I know that, were these in the original warrant, and these are the
These are
left,
not the originals.
so these are leftovers?
New dogs.
New
These
dogs
were
that
on
have
the
come in
original
since the original warrant.
Because they were still considered as new dogs,
Right.
okay?
Right.
So then we did the notification process.
Right.
And since they haven't gotten back to us, this is the next step.
Well, that's my question.
Yeah.
How were these people notified?
They're going to be, by letters, by phone calls, and now they're going to have civil forfeitures. Same thing as the other ones.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
It's the same thing that we did on the last.
These
packet.
people are not on the original list.
No.
You've discovered them recently.
No, we kept them separate.
Four-legged
purposely.
suspects.
Because they
Because
couldn't...
they were new dogs to our
Right.
system.
They didn't meet the criteria to set out into the warrant last time, but they do now because of the time frame.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay?
I'll sign it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome. I just need a copy of that signed warrant, and then Bobby can have it all.
How's it say?
Yeah.
We all,
If you can remind the officers that the next step, ensure personnel is for those dogs, because we've been tirelessly been working on those. We can't get those last 5 yet.
Okay.
the next step is forward. And I think that people are really, sure gets better.
With the warrants?
Oh, gosh, yeah, absolutely. They don't want to spend all this money. So, okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
You
you.
can have your warrant if you want.
You can have this warrant if you want it.
No, we need to make a copy of it, right?
She needs the original, she's gonna make a copy of it. To give to Bob.
Thank you.
Joyce should probably have a copy of it as well, so we know what's going on. Just in case people call up, and I think they will.
He still hasn't sent that,
Okay.
and he's leaving to go to Ireland, so
Exactly.
what we'll do is
We'll be back the 19th.
Yes, he will.
just go ahead and don't mind signing without having a line. We'll just go ahead and do that one.
Yep.
I designate Catherine Dawson to sign it for us.
What am I signing?
Oh, to sign
The
that.
eviction.
The eviction.
We all need to sign the eviction. And at least the majority of the Board of Selectmen should sign it. I don't mind signing it alone, but
I don't know. It's
This one.
Give it to me, I'll sign it.
Hello? This one was doing
No, we
it.
can't do that because then she can't hear it.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
Maybe.
You want to try turning it down?
I just did. It's almost off.
Still doing it?
Be getting a hum.
Hello, hello, hello. In a minute, I'm gonna wait until the crowd comes and then
what do I got? A
I'm
leak?
gonna drink.
Want to make sure that door's unlocked down there.
It is.
Cindy just came up through it.
They're saying.
Was the door unlocked?
Chocolate, I figured you might need it.
Cindy just walked up through it, so I'm thinking, yeah.
We have coffee and cookies.
What's next? 'Cause I don't want to miss anything, but I really do have to run downstairs quickly.
I think we'll have a turnout.
That's Cindy.
Well, I'm first.
All right, go ahead.
I've been telling everybody I've run across, come on down, come on down. You got a question, come on down.
What do you do?
What you looking for?
September 15th.
It's good.
I mean, I have to be careful what I eat.
And
Don't try to eat chicken bones sideways, but, you know, other than that.
It's on the side.
1/13. And then
You can buy the phone, but
Yep,
Pat's probably not going to sign it.
no problem.
yep, sure.
Just use lead.
Yeah, that's all my mercury.
So here, we can just sign underneath, that's all.
Well,
Okay?
someone's got to sign in the signature line.
All right.
I'm sure Pat is going to do.
I'm not signing nothing without my lawyer.
Catherine, those, all these little charges from, whatchamacallit, capital
Catherine?
contractors, is that all legitimate expenses?
Yeah. Thank you.
What do they do?
Eviction. And we're just gonna sign underneath here.
I'm not signing nothing without my
What you're
lawyer.
seeing, I just want to make sure, okay, what you're seeing is we can't, oh, you weren't here. So the park commissioners made a motion to discontinue the services of the cleaner.
Oh, and this is the
Gonna run
payoff?
This
downstairs.
is the payoff. We
before I
came to a
embarrass myself.
settlement. We're not paying anything for April or May. And it ended July 24th, last Wednesday.
You have a new
We have
contractor?
a new contractor,
What is that contractor's name?
Great Northern Cleaning.
I'm familiar with that company.
The only other thing I wanted to
They do
draw
good work.
to the board's attention is in their legal file, there's some correspondence.
In my experience.
Excellent.
And that's all I have.
That's all you got?
Well, I overran 15 minutes.
You did. I'm not complaining.
But we got a lot done.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
to go home.
if they could look through the legal file.
So you don't need a non-public choice?
I have some language for the, that I just showed Bobby, and he was okay with it for the flagger. Yeah, that's gonna bug me.
Okay. All right, we have Oh, you want to go over that now?
Sure. Get her done.
Get her done.
Very good.
We're making progress here.
All right, so... If you look at the one on the bottom that's entitled Hours, where it says to determine that safety devices are trained safety personnel, there'd be a comma there, who have successfully been certified as required by the New Hampshire Department of Transportation for flagger certification. Comma, may be required.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right, she has it.
Making that form of motion?
I'll make that in the form of a motion.
You want to wait for Sandy to come back, or?
Yes, because she's been very helpful in pointing out these insufficiencies.
We'll get that to you, Catherine, in writing.
Yeah, that's what Catherine said.
I'm just going to give her all of my stuff, and then she'll give it back to me. Or actually, I can just give her this page.
So that's in the form of a motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Pat, you're not signing this one? Prospect Street?
Thank you.
She voted no. So we were just going over the language I came up with for the flaggers.
Yep.
So if you look at the one marked hours that we're working on that says, or trained safety personnel, there'd be a comma there, and then it would say, who have successfully been certified as required by the New Hampshire Department of Transportation for flagger certification, comma, may be required.
Awesome.
And there's been a motion and a second.
Okay.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Another one down. Okay. Moving right along. Now, we have, we have a half hour to get through to the pay-as-you-throw recycling information session. We can do, we all have 2 evaluations to get through, and non-public legal, and reports from selectmen. Do you want to do the reports from selectmen after
Want to do that?
you want to do, how do you want to do it? You want to do it?
Let's
reports-
maximize our half hour.
Yes.
Right, absolutely, that's what I
I've
want.
got almost nothing for,
I was going to say, I make a motion, we set our selectmen report aside until next week, unless there's something of urgency.
I have something that's really
Okay.
important. We didn't bring it
Yeah.
up last week and should have.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it shouldn't take too much time.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Al and I, 251? Inspected 251 Main Street, which is the apartment building beside
Yes.
the Tilton Inn.
Yep.
There's 12 units in it. They have a dumpster that's parked in the back and is accessed through Mechanic Street and the E parking lot. So there's a parking space that interferes with the dumpster being dumped. And I would ask the board to consider eliminating that space because the dumpster is just, I mean, it's overflowing because they couldn't pick it up.
Yep.
And they all come back, and there's a car there, and they can't pick it up, and they leave, and of course, the tenants continue to dump things into the
So if we
dumpster.
eliminated that space, they would put the dumpster there?
No.
No, they leave it where it is, but they could build it back
They
into
would,
it.
yeah, see, right now, because it's narrow, and if there's a car there, because of the angle,
Yep.
the dumpster isn't completely,
How are we
perpendicular
gonna
parallel.
What
How are we going to tell them if they're used to having a parking space there
Stripe it
now?
out.
How are we?
Stripe it out.
Stripe it out, no parking.
And I sent an email off to Lieutenant Paulus last week, because Al noticed that most of the cars in there don't have placards. I think there were a couple. So I sent an email off to him, letting him know that that needed to be looked at, that no one was policing it.
Do we have people that come in on that?
There's no air coming out.
I will, yeah, I'll have to catch up with them and see what.
Are the
I'm
airs
gonna turn
on?
I'm going to
It's
turn
going the
this
wrong way.
so that the air's coming
Sucking it
down.
up instead
Aren't
of
you
pushing
all?
it down, it is.
Terribly hot.
That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, it sucks all the air out.
Yeah,
Pushes-
but in the summer,
pushes it all
I
the way
like to
down.
have the breeze, the
Yeah.
airflow.
At least
And I know
it
your
lets us
theory is-
imagine
that's the
that
right
it's
theory.
a little bit cooler than it is.
So,
I'm in favor of that if it's not going to really interfere with, totally with the amount of spaces that we actually need out there.
It's either that or we're gonna deal with garbage all over the
yeah,
ground.
we're gonna start having rats. That's the problem.
Well, that's a problem.
Especially with the inn right next door and their food's.
Do we need an official motion?
I make a motion to eliminate one space in the municipal parking lot.
And stripe it.
E,
Second,
And stripe it, no parking.
I still second it.
So a motion's been made and seconded, so can we get that to Dennis? But Chief, can we also make sure that the police department knows that now that that's going to be a striped, and nobody, for the next, few weeks, we can say it's, once it's striped,
Yep.
that nobody's going to park there?
We also need to get police presence in there. It really is horribly abused.
With out-of-state cars. Out-of-state, been going in there parking.
Looks at mechanics.
Okay, a motion has been made to eliminate one parking space in parking lot E and to stripe it so nobody misunderstands that it's a parking space. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Yes.
Aye. And then I have one other thing, but it's just in the June expenditure report. I really haven't had time to sit down with Tim, but the chief is here, so maybe he can
Might be the same
shed
one I
some
have.
light. MTD is month to date, right?
Yep.
So I'm looking at the information technology, and we have spent $7,815.73 in June.
Yep,
So I'm going to say the A word. I'm assuming that's for the PD.
right. Well, he also bought things downstairs.
But they
as
were
well.
small things.
Right, small, right.
Are we we had talked when we started this that we were going to transfer monies when we needed to from the PD budget into this to cover those expenses that weren't planned.
Tim wants to meet with us next week.
Oh, good. So you've had a chance to talk to him?
I have not talked to him on this specific one, but I has asked for time next week to speak with us so we can talk to him about that.
I see what you're saying. Okay, then I'll make a note.
I'm
Then
just
I'll
trying to
wait.
look for
There were a
what,
couple other things, but I'll wait then.
no, good, because I had a couple questions on
Yeah.
this, too. I'm looking for IT, okay, salary, hardware. You say what he's got here for the hardware under, on page 10?
Yeah.
The PD. Mm-hmm. And then services, which is our licenses, software. So that's where the June expenditures would come in, would be
And,
there. But there's not, I mean, look at,
I was wondering if we had a projection from him, what it's going to cost to buy new equipment if it's necessary, or repair, et cetera. How are the, are we all done I think I've asked you this, I don't remember. Are we all done with the cameras and the cruisers?
Can't go into non-pub now.
Everything's working good?
We're not gonna be
Everything's
able to go
fine
into
there.
non-pub now, people
Nice.
coming in.
He's been working on other computers, but
In-house? I really haven't had a chance to see him. In fact, the other day when I was gonna talk to him, he was at the
I
PD.
got them.
yeah.
I got them and
You know,
took care of
he's
it. They're
just
sitting
been
over
coming
there
in
on
and
the-
checking with different
That's gonna
issues
be-
that pop up from week to
I
week.
know.
Just like
Probably
we
like
have
he does here.
Nice, okay. All right, good, then I can definitely wait until next week.
So, anybody else that wants to take a look at the June expenditures, and if we have any questions, Tim's coming in next week to speak with us so we can,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
make sure.
Recycling information that
Actually, I can feel it now.
So it is 16, just.
I don't feel anything.
That way's down. That one's going this way. Should go that way, right?
when it's working right, you can feel it.
Yes, I'll reverse it.
16 Prospect, not
Oh,
just
16
that.
Prospect.
Well, I've got the 16. Yeah, please.
Yeah, this one's got different than that one. This is correct. Oh, that one.
Thinking they're gonna arrest someone.
Right.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's,
See if you feel it.
how about the fourth one? We don't, is it?
Catherine doesn't
Are you
like
gonna bring that up?
I have trifocals and by 10 minutes I'm so dizzy.
Public, obviously.
Oh, the
We don't have to go to
I feel it.
Crazy.
Public through the window.
We do?
Is that what
You know, should yourself.
I don't know.
Pat, we'll give a few minutes. I'd like to make a motion that we take August 15th and the 29th off. Because it's 5 weeks in August.
August 15th.
And 29th. I kind of need a break.
We have all those, we have extra Thursdays. Oh, yes. That's much better.
Much better now. The 15th and the 29th?
Yep.
Okay, come on. Watch me, I'll walk in.
Can we all make a commitment to make sure that we're here to sign the payroll during the week?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
So what days? The 15th and the
15th
29th?
yes. I'll second your motion. You need a second, right?
Birthday week off. Woo-hoo!
Monday, right?
Motion's been made and
Yeah.
seconded.
All right, we'll wait till Joe gets back.
Do you think he's gonna have a problem with this?
Catherine's over there going, I don't have a problem with that.
Do we make sure that the personnel still has to come in and do the work at normal business?
You mean they gotta come up here and
The
say
chief has to come in and make coffee and...
You're welcome.
Watch out, Cecile's here. Joe, we waited for you. We're going to take the rest of the month of August off.
Excellent.
You made a motion to take the 15th and 29th off,
15th and the,
then seconded.
Is there a reason for this?
Yeah, we need a break.
The last couple of years, the selectmen have taken, well, the last,
29.
About 6 years ago.
they
I
used
was
to
gonna
take...
say, there was no, the last couple of years, this is
About
new.
6 years
We
ago.
eliminated it last year, I know that, in the year before.
In July and August, we'd go every other week.
We go every other week, but that didn't work out because things were piling up, but we thought maybe we could try it in August and give ourselves a small break.
Totally works for me.
You sure? Because you can still come in if you want.
Maybe I'll just come and sit here. You think Tim will mind if I turn on the camera?
All those in favor of the motion?
aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Oh, this is a vacation
That was not for you, Catherine,
too.
that you're still coming in. No, you still have to come in.
Catherine, get up.
Town.
All right. So, no, well, I gotta write this down or I'll be here.
It's off.
Yeah, first one I'll probably show up. 15th and the 29th, I better mark this down.
I'll get to find out what's on TV on Thursday night. No,
What do you need?
the pen.
I got one.
Have them serve it.
Yeah, it has to be served in
Oh,
hand,
I'll give
not
you
in a
another one
boat.
that does it.
One that's not.
Right there.
Does it say to any particular person?
Yes, Judith Smith.
Okay.
And,
And the 29th.
wait, should I make a second copy of this?
Yeah, we
So,
need to,
you need a
because
copy,
we give them. one.
Sticky.
and you give them the original,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then, which
They-
you sign.
yeah.
Bad idea, huh?
I can live with that.
We actually have,
Okay.
when we keep a copy of it.
Oh, I know, for you, this is like heaven, man.
And the thing that was confusing to me, because these pages aren't numbered, these are typical state forms. The reason she's being evicted is not to go to here. Yeah. Because the town took it by tax deed. And
Gotcha.
she knows it's...
Pass it around to the rest of us.
Joe, which one is the one we have?
Contractor bag, $3 million.
These the ones that have the lines in it?
Here's someone's cold coffee.
Somebody must, did Joe make it?
Have them here so that we can...
These aren't the official bags anyway, because it doesn't say Tilton Shred. These are the,
They zero that.
yeah, the example bags.
Well, I wish that you could make this so that, like, I could push this and it would group it by people.
Just stay in the front.
I don't have a magic wand. It's not gonna work for you, trust me. I can group it for you. It's called a hammer.
Oh, I thought of that myself.
Hit it hard, it'll all group.
Words you can't.
Oh, that's Bobby. I just remembered something I was supposed to do for the park commissioners. Wish they'd start giving me stuff to do.
You all right?
About the sun.
Do we have any more business to come before us in the public? We just have the non-public afterwards. So you want to take a...
non-public?
Do care of my business.
Want to officially take a 10-minute break so we can shut the camera off?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. We will officially take a 10-minute break and come back right at 6 o'clock for the hearing, the informational session.
Want me to turn this off, Pat?
Saw him walk right by, so,
The camera is rolling.
okay.
Yeah, you can have a cookie.
There's cookies, coffee.
It's the best we can do.
Tell him to call me whenever. He's got my number. Got my cell.
Don't know.
Turn on the light.
In here, you let the line here.
I would like to welcome everyone to the informational meeting about recycling and pay-as-you-throw. As you know, it was voted on in town meeting, and so since then, we've instituted the recycling portion of that. There have been numerous emails and numerous calls to all of us on the recycling committee and the selectmen. So we thought it best that we have an informational night so that you can ask questions, hopefully get some answers. We have, Dennis is here. We were hoping that Mr. Tweedy from Best Way would be here, but he had a meeting to attend to, so it was iffy. We have Marge Bonneville, who's the chair of the recycling, along with all of us. So hopefully we can get some of your questions and concerns answered. That being said, I'd like to, if I could, turn it over for a couple of minutes, and you can explain what the recycling and pay-as-you-throw program is, Marge? Okay?
Can everybody hear me, or do I need to use a microphone? Okay. If you can't, just holler. I'm chairman of the Recycle Committee. I'm Marge Bonneville, and I have been chairman of the Recycle Committee for 4 years. We've been working that long on bringing recycling to Tilton for the purpose of reducing the line item for the amount that we pay for the disposal of our garbage. And it's taken us that long to really study it. We've taken tours of other facilities, and we came up with the plan that we thought was best for Tilton. And it involves the recycling at curbside every other week. And all of you should by now have bins that have been delivered to your house. If it's the wrong size bin, we do have some smaller ones that you can come to the town shed and exchange it for if the bin is too big. And we decided to start the recycling a little bit before to have you get used to that before we phased in the pay-as-you-throw. The pay-as-you-throw and the curbside recycling was approved at this past year's town meeting. So, it's not a question of if we're going to do it, it's just when we're going to do it, because it has been approved by the majority at the town meeting. So I'm here to kind of explain to you what can be recycled and what the procedure is. Every other week, on the same day as you have your garbage pickup, you put out your recycle bin with everything in it that can be recycled. A lot of people are confused about it being every other week. We're going to have a calendar available if you want that to show the week, but you'll get used to it every other week. It just goes out to the curb next to your garbage. If you have too much for the bin, you can put it in a separate container, not in any plastic bags. It has to be loose, but it can be in a garbage can or in a box, but it has to be labeled recycle so that when Best Way comes by, they know that it's recyclable material and can be picked up. The pay-as-you-throw is going to start sometime soon. The selectmen will decide when, and it involves paying for the bags to put your garbage in. And the reason that we went to this, it's the only way to really get people to recycle. If you decide to recycle and I don't, I put out 5 bags of garbage, you put out 1 small bag of garbage, then essentially you would be paying for all my garbage because I'm not recycling. To get rid of the garbage, just the part to dump that down in Pennacook costs over $66 a ton. And this is what we're looking to reduce, this amount in the future. The amount for garbage is one of the largest line items in the town of Tilton budget, not counting salaries. So essentially the pay-as-you-throw bags are in the stores now and will be sold. This is one of the large bags. It will be sold for $1.50 in bundles of 5. Most stores that sell them, you have to buy bundles of 5. If the store chooses, they could sell you one at a time for $1.50. We picked a bag that's nice and strong. I can pull on it and it's not going to rip easily. So it's important that we have a strong bag. It has the Town of Tilton logo on it. And this is a bag that'll hold pretty much if you are recycling, you will find that your garbage is drastically reduced, the amount you're using. So for a lot of families, they won't even need a bag this big. The smaller size is 15-gallon, and it will cost $1 a bag, and those will be sold in bundles of 10 for $10. There's about 5-6 stores locally that are going to carry the bag, and I think they will be on sale very soon. The stores do have the bags. And you can, in these bags, you can use your other garbage bags inside and then put them in here, but all of it going out to be picked up by Best Way when they go by is going to have to be in the bags that you buy from the town. There may be a week of grace period where you'll be left a notice. The second week, your garbage will be left, and you will have to just find some other company to come pick it up, or you'll be fined. The health officer in town will look into anyone who, is leaving their garbage on the side of the road or dumping it someplace it shouldn't be. So essentially, I'm going to go over real quick and some of the things that can be recycled and can't be recycled, because I guess there's a lot of confusion. So I brought a bag of garbage. A plastic bottle, it has a number 5 on the bottom, and it can go in recycling. A cardboard, that can be recycled. Tin foil, as long as it's not have food hanging off of it, that can all be recycled. Plastic bins cannot be recycled. This is styrofoam and plastic. Those cannot be recycled and have to go into the garbage. This is from soap. The box can be recycled. The little plastic sleeve cannot be recycled. This was from a box of Russell Stover candy. The box can be recycled.
Where's the
Even
candy?
this one has a little bit of soil in it. That's fine. That can be recycled. This, you wouldn't think so, but it has a number 6 on it. If it has a triangle with a number up to number 7, can be recycled. So this would go in recycling. Had a little paper in it. That can be ripped and it's paper. That can be recycled. A little plastic cup has a number 6 on it. That can be recycled. Toilet paper roll can be recycled. This is a plastic container a little flashlight was in. There is no number on the plastic. You can pull the cardboard out, and that can be recycled. And this, oh, I'm sorry, it does have a number. Has a number 3 on it. If it doesn't have any number on it, probably you should throw it away. A mailer. This has bubble wrap in the inside, so it cannot be recycled. That has to go in the garbage. A bag from candy. That goes into the garbage. That is not recyclable material.
I'm in big
A
trouble.
paper cup can be recycled. A box from, whether it's cake mix or pancake mix, those can be recycled. This is a photo, and that could be recycled. This was from a little plastic toy, the front part of it. The front part has no number on it. It's thin plastic, so we throw that one in the garbage. The back part, the cardboard, was pulled off, and that went in recycle. An envelope that has a window, a little plastic window, that's fine. That can be recycled.
There's cookies here.
This is a cardboard folder, and it has a DVD in it. I believe that DVDs can be recycled. I would recycle it. A piece of styrofoam. No styrofoam can be recycled. And if you get a box and it has a great big piece of styrofoam in it, someone suggested to me that you crumble it up, and each week when you have extra space in your, pay-as-you-throw bag, you put the styrofoam in it at a time. The top from an ice cream box or the bottom can be recycled. It's nice to rinse it out. We like the things as clean as possible, but they don't have to be perfect. A big spray bottle. This has a number 2 on it. The whole thing can be recycled. I'm getting there. This was a top from a metal pan, and it is metal, and it can be recycled. A toothpaste tube cannot be recycled. That has to go in the garbage. A pen. I normally throw a pen in the garbage. I imagine it can be recycled because it's plastic and metal. It's not that big. A plastic bag, no plastic bags can be recycled.
Thank you.
And your things should not be in a plastic bag. This candy wrapper, it's all paper and foil, and it can be recycled. And a piece of bubble wrap cannot be recycled. That's plastic and should be thrown away. And this is just some of the 3 million address labels that we get in the mail. Those can be recycled too, even though they're sticky on the back. The plastic bags cannot be recycled with your recycling. They can be recycled at a lot of stores. So if you look through your garbage, you will realize that an awful lot of it, most people are very surprised how much, what percentage can be recycled. Our goal is to have 40% of people who were not recycling, that starts recycling, 40% of what they normally throw in their garbage should and can be recycled. Actually, it should be even greater than that, but we're aiming for 40%. And that will save like 40, it won't be necessarily 40% on our tipping fees because a lot of people in town have already been recycling. So, but it will save that much. And the idea with pay-as-you-throw is the same as with, let's say, your sewer bill or your electricity bill. Would you want to be paying the electricity bill for your neighbor that has a family of 6 or 7 when you're one person or 2 people? Well, it's the same with the garbage pickup. You know, now in your taxes, you are paying for the garbage pickup divided among the whole town for whoever puts out 5 bags, and we've all gone by houses and see all the garbage they have out there compared to your 1 bag. So it makes it more equitable. All the money at the town meeting, we set up a special fund. All the money, 100% of it, goes into this fund. The stores who are selling the bags, they are paying for the bags up front. They're paying $1 and $1.50 for the bags. They are seeing absolutely no profit on selling these bags. And I will say at some of the stores, you will have to pay cash for the bags as opposed to using a credit card because it costs those people money when they have a credit card transaction, and they would be taking a loss on selling the bags. So a lot of them might choose that you have to pay cash for the bags. I want to say too, the people in the town hall and all the town buildings, they will be paying for the bags, the $1.50 and the $1, the same as we are. Nobody is getting free bags unless people, like if the welfare department decides that they want to buy some bags and help out people who really seem to not be able to afford it, then that's the welfare department's choice, and the welfare department will be paying for those bags to do that. The town highway department, they will be paying for the trash bags they use. So no one, you know, the selectmen aren't getting free bags. No one is. Everyone is paying the same amount for the bags. The money that goes into this fund will be used totally for the whole garbage program. We call it solid waste, but I still like to call it garbage because then we all know what we're talking about. Part of it will go to pay for the contract that we've already started for the curbside pickup for recycling. And the rest of it, if there's money left in, there'll be a certain amount that will be carried over every year, but a certain amount will go to offset the tipping fees that we pay down to Pennacook. When the town meeting comes in March, we will be making a presentation showing exactly how much money has come in from the bags and how much it offsets the amount that we're paying to tip the garbage, how much we've reduced the tonnage of garbage that we do pick up. The first 2 pickups we've had so far, and the first one, it wasn't clear to everyone that we were recycling, and not everyone knew what to recycle. We picked up 10 tons, almost 10 tons of recycled material, and the second week, 11 tons. And we expect this to just increase, especially there's some people that just didn't want to do it. This way, when they have to pay for their garbage, They still don't have to do the recycling, which is their choice, but then they will pay for more bags to put their garbage in. So it makes it a matter of choice. If you want to reduce the amount that you're paying for garbage bags, then you recycle more. It is important to have the recycled material, the right material. Don't be trying to put garbage into the recycle bin, because then your recycle bin will be left there and not picked up also. And thought of something else I wanted to say, and now it kind of went through. So that's basically the program.
I had a question backing up on what should be recycled. There's something about 2-inch square that the caps on those water bottles are below a 2x2. Is that, I mean, I'm a little confused by that. Can you not recycle the caps of the water bottles?
That's fine. That has never, that was on the information sheet?
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't be, because, was it on, did you put the, is it on there? It came with the barrels, or it comes with the bags?
It came with the barrels.
Oh, well, some of us didn't get the one that came with the barrels. That was from Best Way. We hope to have, the gentleman from Best Way is going to try to stop in before the end of the meeting, and we can ask him, but I've been recycling for years, and my water bottles go in top and everything, so that isn't a problem. When you buy the bags, you will get a piece of paper with each set of bags, and it has briefly what can be recycled on there, and we have handouts that we will be giving you tonight, again, for more specifics on exactly what can be recycled. And if you haven't been recycling, you just will be amazed at how much you can. You know, I didn't mention all the common things, you know, newspapers, tin cans, soda bottles. You can't recycle, like if you break a drinking glass, that cannot be recycled. That has to go in the garbage. But any other kind of glass containers, you know, beer bottles, soda bottles, those can all. Why not?
I've set that down, do any glass, including colored glass. The only glass you can't do is Pyrex. That's what the information says.
Well, go by the information then. We've been told not drinking
I'd like the
glass.
questions be directed here, please, and if we could. And thank you, Marge.
Give their name.
I'm going to open it up to questions and answering, but I would like, if you would please give your name and then state out loud so we all can hear your question clearly. One of the things that, Joyce, you had something to mention. I'll get to you first.
To that question when you're ready.
Okay, go ahead,
Okay,
while
this
it's fresh.
The brochure that was put together by Casella, which does the zero sort, it should have been inserted in the bin, in the lid of every bin. And as far as glass bottles and jars, rinse them clean, food and beverage containers only. No light bulbs, Pyrex, drinking glasses, window panes, or ceramics. Lids are okay, they just would like, if you could, just to remove them, because when it gets, I don't know.
They explode.
So just, but you can still throw the lids in there. If you don't take the lid off,
I'll take my lids off.
but they prefer if you unscrew the lid. Also, they don't want any foil, I guess. Is it, they talked about foil on the lids?
On the lids,
On the lids.
right.
Yeah, same with metal cans, rinse, clean, food and beverage cans only, labels are okay, can lids are okay, placed inside the cans, just no oil filters or scrap metal.
Okay. This lady in the front has a question, if you,
I have a few questions, but
So
my
state
name's Kristen Vaughn. I just purchased a home in Tilton with my husband in May, and we actually lived in Concord where they had pay-as-you-throw, and I have a lot of opinions on it, but I have a couple questions regarding what was just said a second ago, as far as what can and can't be. It seems like there's a lot of varying information. This pamphlet says one thing, this pamphlet says a completely different thing, and the pamphlet that came with the bin says something else. This says that plastic grocery bags and shopping bags marked with a number 2 or 4 are okay. This one says shredded paper, as long as it's in a plastic bag, needs to be recycled. This one says foil. You're saying that the ones that came with the bin says no foil.
It was oil, she said. We didn't understand there. It's oil.
Oh, oil?
She said not
Oil.
All right, I thought she said foil.
That's what I thought she said.
That's what I thought she said.
I thought she said.
No oil filters.
No, you're talking the little foils that come on the plastic
Okay.
bottles. The little foils that you pump off your plastic bottles.
My milk had a foil cover on it when I pried this off. I peel that off to drink it, that's not recyclable, the rest of the container is.
Now, how are people gonna,
Yeah, but this says foil, this says foil, it doesn't
You know
say-
what?
And
They
then
said 10%, they figured 10% mistake.
Okay.
So a little foil is not a deal breaker, and people will learn as we go along.
That was my other question, is what happens if something goes into the recycling that isn't supposed to be there, or vice versa?
At a 10% rejection rate, if it goes to 11, 12%, they bring it to the incinerator, and we pay the tipping fee for that garbage.
Okay. I have some other questions, but I'll let some other people talk first.
Jerry?
The psycho, how about these whipped creams, cans? You throw them in there, or
Whipped cream, plastic.
The spray
or-
cans.
spray cans?
Aerosol cans.
Yes.
As long as they're empty, they can be recycled. Whether it's a hairspray can, whipped cream can, if it's empty and doesn't have hazardous material in it, it can be recycled.
How about oil cans?
Oil
I
cans.
mean, plastic oil cans we got.
You'd have to wash them thoroughly, because the oil is not, you'd have to shake it up and wash it real good.
Do you mean cooking oil or motor oil?
More oil.
Motor oil?
Yes.
If you can clean them completely, yes. If not, no.
What about cooking oil?
Like a gas.
Same
Cooking
thing.
oil, again, rinse it out with hot water so most of it is out. Same as peanut butter jars are really hard. Just clean them the best you can so they aren't completely filled with a lot of peanut butter, and they're fine. Same with oil, just shake it with hot water and then it can go in there.
Because I have a lot of stuff, and I did took the tops off, washed them out for you and everything else, so I'm
Yeah.
doing what I'm supposed to do, so.
You know, washing is nice, but it doesn't have to be perfect. All of this stuff does get washed as they're recycling it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Marcia, go ahead. Yep, Marion?
Last spring, when I went to the police department to complain that somebody was putting their dog poop in my trash can by picking it up with like paper towels or wrappers and just dumping it in my trash can, I was told that was a legal thing for them to do. Next winter, when they take the public trash cans or the community trash cans out of the street, and that same person, if they're still here, goes and puts dog poop in a recycle bin, are we going to have fines for that or something? Is that, because it's legal, according to the police? Not you. I was told by one of your officers that it was legal.
Is that true, chief? Because if somebody comes and puts dog stuff in my can, I've got a problem with it. It's my can.
I had a lot of dog poop in my garbage. There's still a garbage can there that nobody claims that's got dog poop, no cover, water, it stinks, it's probably a health
22
hazard.
relieves that problem.
What does?
A 22 relieves that problem.
So I
End
don't
of
know,
dog.
but I'm just thinking next winter.
Trash can
is
should
there
be
some-
private, her trash is
should we pass
private
a law
property.
that they can't do
It should be a
that?
trespassing issue.
Because they're gonna do it.
Yes.
If they're still
It's gotta
around.
be an
Yeah,
issue.
the ordinance says they're
Trash
responsible
is
for
private
disposal.
property, then it's
They wouldn't have a right to use
just
the
like if they're
garbage
putting it in their
container.
Well, I never saw who it was anyway, so. and the-
I mean, we could deal with it through the ordinance. It's there.
There's an ordinance against it?
Yes.
Yes.
The officer wasn't telling me.
He misspoke.
He did misspeak.
Oh,
Right.
Thank you.
So also, another informational that we found out last week, if you are recycling so great that you fill up the bin that you're using and you have extra that you need to put out, it has to be marked recycle on it, and it has to be in an open, whether it be a box or a tub or something, and it can't be in a plastic bag tied up and then marked recyclable, because they won't pick it up. They'll pick it up and put it into the garbage, and it would be a tipping fee. They won't pick it up unless it's in the purple bag. So there comes the problem. You have to mark it recyclable in an open bucket.
I have a question in regards to like shredded paper.
Yep.
I mean, you're gonna have to put that in a plastic bag of some kind.
In a brown paper, we were told in a brown paper bag in the recycling is fine. I know, it says here, in a plastic bag, but this is what we were told. Am I?
Plastic bags, they'll take it in plastic bags. They prefer it in paper, but they'll take it in plastic bags. The bags get wound up in the wheels of these conveyor belts. If it's in something and it's out like this, it can't get tied up, I guess, in the conveyors.
Well, what I usually do is use like a shopping bag and I put it over the shredder and then just dump it in it and then tie the top.
Is that acceptable?
As far as I know, it's totally acceptable.
On both of their flyers.
Okay. Jane?
I just passed, I don't even have any paper bags either. So the first week I put it in a small box, and Best Way told me that was okay. They just don't, and they prefer it not be in a plastic bag, because that does get tangled up. But they said a box, or ask the grocery store for a paper bag instead of plastic. And if you still like plastic, I ask for paper in plastic. So that's how I get mine. You don't have to buy a bag.
This gentleman way back there?
Sure, Violet. I think the purpose of tonight's meeting was to determine a date as to when we're going to start.
Well, that wasn't, go ahead.
I think we've got a lot of conflicting information that has unfortunately perhaps added to some confusion. That can be sorted out.
We have
confusion as to which week it is. I go past Laconia Road on a Monday morning and still think a majority of the people along that stretch of highway think Monday is pickup day because all their garbage is out lining the streets. And we moved to Tuesday pickup in East Tilton a while ago. We're not going to change those people's behavior. We need to make a decision as to when we're moving forward on what was the majority opinion at town meeting on this program.
The selectmen wanted to hear from the public first and answer most of the questions that they had. We did make a motion tonight to start the pay-as-you-throw on September 3rd. It's a Tuesday. And then there'll be a short grace period of 2 weeks, and then you'll be getting your trash left behind with a note that says you're not in compliant. Okay?
That's a definite date?
That's a definite date.
Just a little suggestion. I know in the past you've always done things through your online website. It might be a good idea to actually send out notices to people on this.
There is going to be a postcard sent to each and every household. And it'll be going out in the next couple days.
I know on this recycling thing, the way I found out about it was when they showed up in the bin. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't even know about the town meeting last year. I didn't even know you had a website. Until when I called the town hall and said, what is this nonsense? Somebody just dropped this off my driveway. They said, well, this was voted on last town meeting. What town meeting? And that's when I found out you had a website.
It was every March.
Town meeting is the second Tuesday of every March.
Every March.
For years.
Forever.
My house last year, April, I didn't know this.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
It would have been nice if somebody had sent out a notice and said, you know, this is what's going on.
Do you receive the Echo in your mail? The newspaper?
The Winnisquam Echo? Do you receive the Winnisquam Echo in the mail?
No.
Okay.
You can.
I tried.
And it's for free.
Yes, you can, and it's free. Just call them up, and they just need a name
Wait a
and an
minute.
address. And every Thursday, you'll get
Thursday, right.
an Echo in the
When you
mail.
come in to do town business, the annual report is typically on the counter.
Right.
And that's the report of the town for that year.
Right.
which is produced for town meetings, so it'll have all that information in it that you need. It has our Amnesty Week for the town garage, there's a lot of information in it. But every town in the state has to produce an annual report yearly, by law.
Okay.
It's also on the website, but when you come into town to do business, whether it's license a dog, register a car, or whatever, it's there, it's available to you.
And yeah, we come in to register our cars, but I mean, we had no idea what was going on in this thing.
All right, Deb, she hasn't spoken yet.
Hi, I'm Deb Shepherd. I just moved to Tilton from Northfield, and I want to say kudos to you guys. I think the pay-as-you-throw is awesome. I think it's a great way to save money. It's also a great way to even the scoring field for everyone. You recycle, you save a little money, you save the town some money. Do you have a website that people can go to if they want to know what is recyclable and what's not?
There's a list on the town website.
Yeah.
There's a list on the town website.
But is there
There's a Facebook page that's unofficial. It's not technically affiliated with the town. Tilton Recycles on Facebook. It has lists of what's recyclable and whatever. And again, it's not associated with the town.
But I know there is some confusion in the handouts that we've had. Some say, but is there a good source other than that that you can go to?
If you go to Casella's website, zerosort.com.
Zero sort, yeah.
Okay, Marge?
I would like to clear up three things, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Joe stated that a card will be sent out to every household. I think it's going to be sent out to all the taxpayers. There's a lot of people in town who rent, and they will not be getting it.
That's
The
true.
people who rent are probably the ones who are the least informed, because if you are the owner of a property, it's your duty to tell the people that are renting from you. So if anyone in here is a renter, you may not have gotten the information through the mail unless you we have had, for months, we have had articles in many newspapers. So if you read a newspaper, you should have seen it. The second thing that I wanted to say is the information we gave out tonight, some of it was, this booklet is old information we were using, and this is from Echo, Maine, a place that takes recycling material. That is not who the town of Tilton and who Best Way go through. This was their list. It was from a long time ago when we were trying to give information. The card that you're holding in your hand that is green and purple, that is the one that is as near to the information as possible. But, it really shouldn't be mind-boggling if this says something and that says something else. It might be one piece that you're confused about. There are general rules of what can be recycled and what can't. So I don't think that, you're going to have a big problem with that. There was one third point I wanted to comment on, but now I forgot, so I'll raise my hand when I remember. Mine doesn't work.
You had your hand up.
Part of my concern, I know we paid for some additional advertising as part of this whole project. We've seen some news articles, but a lot of times by the time you're reading about it, it's happening that day. That's not advance notice to inform the general population here in Tilton. I happened to check the website for the town of Tilton and happened to have found that there was this meeting earlier this week. I don't know how much ahead of this meeting that notice was online. We're not helping communicate effectively. You ought to give people a couple of weeks lead time on important issues that we ought to get good feedback from. We're not. We're last minute. There's a buzz going around. A number of folks up here that know the inside workings of this community here, but the rest of us are kind of outside, not knowing, not being informed. The media that most of us are seeing now probably comes out once a week. We need to anticipate that their deadline is going to be a week before, which means we need to make some announcements 3 weeks out before we expect people to respond appropriately. Tomorrow, we ought to be having a notice into the Echo and the other media, followed up 2 weeks later, or every week. helping people recognize this. September 3rd is going to be a very important day in the life of Tilton.
We have a mail, thank you. We have a mailing going out
In the next couple of days.
next couple of days in defense of the Winnisquam Echo. It's been at least a couple of times you've had it in the paper, which is a couple of weeks, and Laconia Sun has had it a couple of times, and again, just a few days ago, as a reminder for people, and that's a daily paper, a daily free paper that a lot of people pick up. And we've reached out to the media, we've reached out to every which way we could possibly do to get the word out. I don't know, other than going door to door, and Sandy walked Main Street to get the word out to the Main Street people, so I don't know how else we could get the word out other than going door to door and knocking on the doors and saying, hey, and look at how many people show up out of a little over 3,000. Go ahead.
Question, I will say I'm Donna from the Winnisquam Echo. My question is, what about tenants? You said that these notices that are going to be sent out will go to the landlords, but I know for a fact that some of your landlords are out of town, out of state. How?
It's going to be their responsibility in order to do that, because we don't know, we don't have the tenant information.
On the downtown tenant that doesn't know because their landlord didn't give them that notification.
Well, they do learn. I mean, you have to understand that when people buy property in Tilton, obviously, we have records of all the property owners. We do not have records of renters.
Right, exactly.
So all we can rely on, and mostly when we send letters out to property owners, we tell them that if you have tenants, that it is their obligation to let their tenants know.
Right.
And obviously, like downtown, now I went downtown and those that weren't home, I taped notices on the doors, and however many mailboxes were how many notices I taped on the doors to try and get to some of these people who rent in the downtown area. But obviously, the Winnisquam Echo, I know, it's like I've told people before, if you call the newspaper and give them your name and address, there is no charge for the paper. It comes free every Thursday. And that is, not that I'm trying to promote this paper, but it does do a good job of covering local events in town. I would say the same thing for the Laconia Daily Sun. It's also very good and that's laying around town every day, so.
Chuck, you had a question?
A couple different questions, like downtown, I don't live downtown, but say you have people that put their trash out that don't recycle and just put their trash out and they don't put it in the bags. It's not like at your house or at an apartment building, it's
right.
downtown.
It's good.
I'm just curious how you would address, that's my trash, but...
It's going to be the responsibility of the health officer to look through the trash and identify. All right.
If I live downtown and put a trash out there and don't pick it up,
It's going to be the responsibility of the health officer to...
Do you have an estimated, and I know it all depends on how much gets recycled, do you have an estimation of what it's going to save the taxpayers by doing this? I know we're paying taxes for that now we're buying bags for that. I'm just curious.
And paying for the truck.
We pay for it already, but now we're paying again. Do you have an estimate of what we're actually going to be saving? Are we going to see a difference in our taxes, or is it just, I'm just curious, because we already paid for it, now we're paying for it again. Is it, when it comes time, is that something we're going to see?
So
I'm going to give that to Joe to answer.
There's a detailed worksheet about the bag is this much, this much weight in the bag, at the cost of the tipping fee and the avoidance and what have you. Dennis, correct me if I'm wrong, we did approximately 4,500 tons or 1,500 tons of residential garbage last year. So we're looking at saving off that.
If you do 40%, that's 600 tons. Times 6680, approximately, you're looking around $38,000 to $40,000.
Okay, and that, I understand.
That'll come off that that amount right there.
I mean, is it something that come tax?
Is your taxes gonna go down? I can't promise you that, because every budget season, I'm a taxpayer, every budget season,
I know some people that couldn't make it tonight, and that was
This is, Scott.
general consensus, like,
This is,
we pay for it already, now we're paying individually.
Residential, it's broken
Is
down.
that money something, I mean, everybody wants, I don't think anybody's against recycling, along with myself.
Tons we collect.
But we already pay to have our trash picked up, now we're paying to have our trash picked up, are we gonna, are we paying twice? Is that?
no, you won't be paying twice. There'll be some payment involved, because the bags will not cover all of the recycling hauling contract and the entire tipping fee. The experience that they've had in Concord, which uses the same hauler, they have the same bags at the same price, they had a 42% reduction in their municipal solid waste. The savings between, they paid their entire hauling contract, their tipping fees, and they support the public library with that money. Their taxes have not gone up
I guess my question
on that line.
is, supporting the public library, that's good in that aspect.
That's
But I'm
just
saying,
Concord.
if we're paying for this already, are we still gonna be paying the same and then paying for our trash?
I'd like to call on Dennis to answer some of that.
And other people that.
Dennis can run you through that one.
Dennis, why don't you say it out loud so everyone can hear it?
Okay, like I said before, if we can get 40% out of the recycling stream or residential MSW, that's 600 tons. If you take the 600 tons and multiply it by 6680 that we pay per ton at the co-op, get rid of the MSW, approximately, I don't have a calculator, but approximately $38,000. That's $38,000.
Just over 40 grand.
Out of our MSW, okay? Now also, okay, that means that we have to give them an estimated tonnage at Concord, okay, at Pennycook, that we're going to bring down. That's going to reduce that amount, okay? So, also with the sales of bags, all right, at $1.50, if you take approximately 3,600 residents in the town of Tilton, I don't know how many households it is, okay? But let's just use that for an example, 3,600, okay? I would say if they're faithfully recycling and they use 3 bags a week, times 52 weeks, times $1.50 per household, that's going to give you a sum of money that is going to be applied specifically to the curbside recycling and to our MSW costs. So at the end of the year, with all of these revenues that we receive from the bag sales and what we saved in recycling, okay, the line item that the highway budget has should reduce.
Peter?
Peter Bogg, East Tilton. I'm hearing that we are looking for a $40,000 savings on municipal solid waste, but we're paying on an annual basis $87,000 to do the curbside. So that sounds like it's still a net loss, or you've got to sell a ton of bags.
How this is
Want to
going to
address
play
that,
out?
Dennis?
You got a calculator there? Okay. Take,
That's right.
3,600 residents, okay? So let's assume that there's 3,600 houses in the town of Tilton.
There's 1,409.
Huh?
1,409
1,409 houses.
residential units.
Okay, so take that and take an average that they buy 3 bags per week per household.
One bag, it won't be that much.
I do 2 now without recycling, with a family of 4.
I do a market basket bag.
So 2 bags. Okay, right? Times the 1,400, times 52 weeks, and what's that come up with?
$146,536.
$146,000 that's going to be applied to the recycling item and the MSW item.
Jason?
So I don't see that that's a deficit, I see that's a revenue.
I have a question with that. If we're not buying the bag, we don't have that income. And we're not recycling now, but if we did just recycle and we saved 40,000 out of those 1,400 households, what is going to be the reduction in the tax bills on those 1,400 households? How many bags do I have to buy to get my taxes to go down $1.50? I can buy a bag, I'm paying more. I'm not going to get $1.50 back on my tax bill, I guarantee it, no matter how much we do this. I want to know if I'm going to make $1.50. My first sleeve of bags, $10. Am I going to get a $10 reduction in my tax bill?
No.
Is any household going to get it?
No.
No.
There's no guarantee of that.
Same service.
But you know, whether we pay for this with bag fees or our taxes, the residents of this town are still pulling money out of their pockets and paying for this program, whether it's through taxes or bag fees. You're saying the residents of this town are now going to fork out over $100,000 for a program that's going to cost $87,000.
She's been waiting a long time.
That's not right.
I know. Go ahead.
I understand that this isn't the forum to discuss whether we're going to do pay-as-you-go throw or not, because it's already been decided on, we're going to do it. To touch on what he was saying, I think the question was, where does that $40,000 in savings go, if that's the amount that we're saving? I think that's the first question. Where is that going to go? Obviously, I highly doubt it's going to go back to us and our taxes, but what benefit are we going to see from that? The second question, or actually not question, but comment I had is Concord. I came from Concord. I know the pay-as-you-throw program very well. I also have plenty of people that live in Concord, and one of the major downfalls to pay-as-you-throw in Concord was illegal dumping. I lived in downtown Concord. I could see every dumpster around me, and the businesses are the ones that suffered, because how many times a night we watch people pull up to the dumpster, back up, take the garbage and throw it in the dumpster. Those people are not buying bags, so those people are not going to be paying for this pay-as-you-throw program. I know that lots of people think that that doesn't happen, but it does. Happens all the time. So the businesses are going to be suffering, I can tell you that. And the bags in Concord are $2 at a minimum per bag.
They went up to $2.
No, it's been that. We lived in Concord a year and a half ago, and that's what it was, $2 a bag for the smaller size bags. So basically, I'm curious as to what the health code enforcement officer thinks of going through people's garbage to determine whose garbage it is and whose garbage it's not.
I just bought brand new gloves.
I'm sure he likes that.
That was
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, I feel that from all the questions here and from the misinformation in several different pamphlets, it seems like there's been a lot of conflicting information, and that I understand there's been a lot of information going out since it has been adopted that pay-as-you-throw will go through. There's been a lot of information. We're new to the town. We couldn't have been here in the March meeting, so really our say wouldn't have mattered at that point. But the information that has gone out since then, we have seen a lot of information on it. I'm curious as to how much information went out before that vote was made to the town residents about the pay-as-you-throw programs and what other options were considered. As I know, there's quite a few different pay-as-you-throw options. I'm all for recycling. I think it's a great thing. I'm also for pay-as-you-throw. I'm just not for pay-as-you-throw paying for the bags. I know that there's other pay-as-you-throw price opinions. Franklin does a different one where they gave out the thing, you have a bin, and that's how much you get. And if you go over that, then you have to pay for it. I almost wonder how much research was done prior. I understand you said 4 years. I do. I get that. But obviously and I'm not downing that. Trust me, I'm not. I completely understand that there was a lot of research that did go into it. I'm just curious how much information was given to the public before this was passed. Because I have seen a lot of information come out since it's been passed, but all that information has been conflicting as well. So I guess the only question I had in there was, where's the $40,000 savings going?
But this young man.
Young man, yeah. My name is Bill Riley. I live in Lingle Lane. I spent about an hour and a half on the phone yesterday with Dennis. We had a great conversation. I just have a couple comments. One on the Bonnie bags. I come from a community prior to living in Tilton that decided to do the Bonnie bags. What happened with the Bonnie bags is the police budget went sky high and DPW's budget went sky high because littering, piles of normal green trash bags started piling up at the end of every dirt road in town. And the DPW would go out with a front end loader, 2 guys, a dump truck, and pick up trash. And the price of the bag is what drove that. That community went away from the bag and went to clear bags, buy them anywhere, and that's what happened to that. We've got a very effective recycling program. I think we need it. I commend you, young lady, for it, because I know the lumps you're taking for it. It's a hard thing to get across to anybody. The other thing I wanted to approach at the town meeting, we discussed roadside pickup. I brought up the issue of dumpsters at that meeting, and I think, Catherine, you can verify the fact that we were not going to address dumpsters at this point. We are now into a dumpster program, I am told, and we're going to get one for recycle and one for trash. The one for trash, the Barney bags have to go into. If you're familiar with dumpsters, this lady is absolutely right. Every drive-by in town throws bags in the dumpsters. Dennis informed me yesterday, look, we're nice about it. We'll send you a letter warning the first time, and then we'll fine you the second time. I'm not going to be the dumpster police. I'm going to call the town police department, tell them, get out, clean my dumpster out, and find out who's putting the refuge in there. Because they're not too smart to start with. They throw everything away, including their mail and address.
I better get some.
So, the police come down, they open the letter up and say, we'll take care of this. Well, after a while, they get smart. They don't put their mail in there or anything that has their name in it.
That's right.
But it still ends up in our dumpsters.
Yep.
So we're going away from the town program and going with a private program. We will recycle, absolutely, in favor of that. But our refuge will not be going into purple bags. It'll just be going to the dumpster and be hauled off.
So I suggest that you might have to get waiters.
It's just a program you can't control. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Someone over here had a question. Go ahead, Jason.
Did have another question about the bag thing. I think it's kind of ironic, this is for the selectmen, I think it's ironic that you came to a decision to have a September 3rd date and roll this out before the meeting, of hearing from the public, getting opinions, getting some, getting a pulse on what's going on in the town. So I don't think that was appropriate that you set the date, then said, we want your opinion. Let me ask you this. I don't know if this board tends to hear from the voice of the people or not, but theoretically, if there was to be a petition and if there was to be a warrant article for next town meeting regarding removing the bags, leaving the recycling, amending the program, and the voice of the people voted and passed that, would it be the choice of the selectmen and the committee to move in that direction of the voice of the people?
There'd be no choice.
Right.
The selectmen have to do a town meeting.
Right.
Directs.
Right. Excuse my language, but you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, we're getting screamed at for months now that we haven't set a date, and we finally set a date, and we're getting screamed at because we set a date before, so we could tell you what the date was. It's like, hit me. Go ahead.
I don't think we really ever settled this issue about the money savings here. We're talking about how do you save money? What's in it for us? Where do we save money? We're already paying for trash pickup. Now you're saying, well, now we want you to buy bags at $1 a piece, or $1.50 a piece, and we're not going to reduce your taxes at all. I don't buy that. No.
That's not what we said. That line's going down on that budget, it's going down. This board, in the last 3 years that I've been sitting on it, has held the line on taxes. You haven't lived here, but it's held the line on taxes. Our budget has gone up less than the cost of our fixed rising retirements, insurance, stuff like that. If we can take and lop 40 grand or more off of our budget, then, I mean, hey, you get to vote once a year on selectmen, right? I'm not about spending tax money I don't have to spend. Never have been, and that's why I ran for selectman. And I can vouch for the others sitting at this table. We're not haphazardly spending money here. Are you going to, I can't guarantee you're going to see a reduction in taxes. I just can't guarantee that. But when it comes time, if they try to raise the budget 40 grand, I'll be voting no.
Our tax rate has gone down for the 3rd year in a row. The selectmen and the towns, people that are working at the town, we ride hard on it.
But our tax rate may have gone down.
Say that for any other town.
The budget went up.
But the tax rate went down.
The tax rate may have gone down, but we're going to pull more money out of our pockets buying bags to support this program.
That being said, it's already been voted on. This is
I know.
what the people
We
want.
don't have a choice right now.
Yeah, well, those people that came to town meeting, who voted.
Oh, that knew about the town meeting.
But it's the horse is out of the stall. And the selectmen have to put this out there. They have to do what the people want them to do. This was a vote, this is taken, so this is what we have to deal with right now. Whether or not anybody gets a warrant article out for next meeting, that's fine, but we have to do what we need to do to make this what the people voted on. And thank you for all your hard work for the committee.
Dennis?
Just to touch back on what Catherine said, at the town meeting in March, it was discussed to have a recycling program, and the cost of the bags at that time was voted on at $2 per bag, the big bags. With the recycling and the selectmen got together, we reduced the bag fee from $2 to $1.50.
I think that was the selectmen, not the recycling and selectmen. I'll correct that, Marge, before you jump out of your seat.
But it was reduced, am I correct?
That's correct, absolutely.
So if you let the program go for a full year, see what the revenues are, see what the benefits are, there always could be a possibility, okay, that the bag price could be reduced at that particular time. But I can guarantee everybody in this room, okay, that if it went for a year and we got 40% out of the recycling, okay, the highway budget MSW cost would be less than it was the previous year. I can't tell you if other budgets are going to be going up, but I can tell you that my cost will be reduced.
Yeah, if I may?
Yes, go ahead, Tim.
Tim Pearson, I'm the finance director for the town, and what Dennis said, much of it is correct, except that in the warrant article for recycling, the bag price wasn't voted on. In fact, I asked the question at town meeting, who is going to set that bag price? And the answer was the Board of Selectmen at the town meeting. But in any event, the monies that are raised from the sales of the bags are actually going into a separate fund. And that fund is what pays for the pickup and other costs. So if there's excess money in there, that can be used to also reduce the solid waste costs in the operating budget. But the monies that will be saved, you'll see coming out of the operating budget if there's excess monies. So in this fund, if there's excess monies, that will start to take down elements out of the public works budget.
Does anybody here have a knowledge of what it costs the town right now to get rid of MSW per year?
She does.
No, the public. You have any idea?
All I know is we're going to spend more than $40,000 to save $40,000.
That was not the question. Okay, so I guess that no one does know. But the highway budget is a little over $1 million, and my MSW cost is $310,000. Little third of my budget is MSW.
But two-thirds of that is paid for.
That's correct. Two-thirds is paid for by
We currently pay about $110,000 for the pickup of our trash, our regular trash. And then we are paying, the contractors for $87,000 for the recycling we picked up. And the offset of, it really remains to be seen what the experience is going to be, what percentage of recycling there is, and what the savings are going to be. But by the end of the year, we should have a full quarter's worth of data they will look at, extrapolate out and look at prior years and to see what probably a full year is going to look like.
Chuck?
I'm for recycling. I think it's a good idea. I think it should be a necessity. My question is, and I didn't vote. I should have. I didn't vote either way. I'm not, whatever. It's just I should have. But my question is, Dennis and I had discussed this in the past about doing like the recycling. I think mandatory recycling is good. I think it's good for the environment, good for our town. And I'm sure there's been some surveys done and some things about optional recycling. Would there be, I know we discussed and we've discussed tonight about
tenants or people downtown or people in apartment buildings, hey, if I don't have to recycle, I'm not. It's not going to cost me any, I'm not. So we're going to lose that bit of it. But myself, my family, my business, other families and businesses that want to recycle because we want to recycle, would that in itself offset the people who don't? You know what I mean? Is it, you got to recycle this and you got to pay for this? Is there, I'm sure it's too late now, but would there be a possibility of optional recycling and not pay as you throw? I mean, I'm sure that there's probably, that won't work because the people say, well, if I don't have to recycle, screw it, I'm not going to. But I guess my...
Recycling without paying for the bags and then just doing the...
Would that work? I mean, I haven't done the research. It makes sense that it probably wouldn't work because some people say, well, if I don't have to, if I'm not going to pay for the bag, why would I? But I think there's a lot of people out there that, like myself, my family, we would like to recycle without that throw. Is that an option? I mean, I know it's been voted on and I understand that. I guess my question is that an option, or is it definitely going to be recycling and paying as you throw?
It was passed as a warrant article as recycling and pay as you throw.
I think like Dennis says,
You know,
right
next...
now it is what it is.
Right.
We can go
It is what it is, right.
But I guess my thought was,
Larger cities do, like Manchester, they do recycling, and you don't have to purchase the bags. I mean, it seems to work fine for them, but they have a heftier budget as well. But it is, right now, we have to abide by the taxpayers that
and I think...
Next year's a whole new year.
Right, but I'm just saying, I think some of the people who say, if I don't have to pay, I'm not going to recycle. But I think there's the majority with today's mentality that we want to be recycled. We want to do things that's going to better the environment. But obviously, there's going to be people who don't. If they got to pay, then it's going to force them to do it, which I think is probably the whole reason for the pay as you throw. I mean, I don't know, I just was curious if there was options.
Go ahead, Bill.
Just a technical question.
I know some of the bins that were out, the lids were up, they had a lot of stuff in them, but I imagine if it's pouring rain and that gets soaked, are they just going to leave that in there? Soak paper inside?
Dennis, would you know that?
No, I'm quite sure that they'll take it. The cardboard that got soaked, they'll probably, when they load the disposal or separate it, they'll take that.
I imagine the lid is there because they want to keep the rain out of it, but I know some of them that were out were kind of...
They were full.
Full. Yeah, they were open.
Last time we did mine, it was pouring rain.
Yeah, when it was raining.
Judy?
Just to tag team on his, I think residents in town have already shown that they're willing to recycle now that they've got the bins, because look how much was picked up. And we could still just throw it all in the regular trash if we could.
Right.
So I think residents are already learning, gee, this is kind of easy now that I have a bin to do it. Before, it was problematic to do it because you couldn't get to a place to drop your recyclables off
Right.
if you worked.
Right.
The other thing is, when they started single stream in Franklin, first thing they did, and you might want to think about this, is they came into the classrooms and educated the children about what recycling was, what we could single stream, what we couldn't. We've got bins in every classroom, and then the kids go home and teach their parents.
Right.
Although we haven't given presentations to classes, we're in touch with the Go Green people in the school district and the Dr. Davis, all about that. And this fall, I was in touch with the Go Green lady, but I didn't have anything to actually tell her. We didn't have a date, none of this stuff. Come the beginning of the school year, we're supposed to be able to have informational sessions and get information to the kids that they can bring home to their parents.
All of our children line up after lunch, empty their little milk cartons, put them in the...
Kids are real good at it. The school has a very comprehensive program for recycling, and I figured on using that as a springboard to getting the information to their parents. I became a recycler when my daughter wouldn't let me do anything else, and she's a product of the school system up here. So that's definitely, we're trying to get the use of those resources.
Tim?
I just have also a technical question. You're mentioning the green aspect of it. I
I guess I'm trying to understand, when we have to use hot water to clean out something, we're burning fossil fuels to clean something, to recycle, so that either, when they collect it, they're making money. Is it because of Casella? Or you mentioned that...
It doesn't have to be clean. A lick and a promise is going to work. They get milk jugs, if the milk jugs, or the laundry soap jugs. They crush them and the stuff comes out the bottom. I've seen it. They have it in corrals. They wash all this stuff. But if you have a bin of recyclables with organic food waste in it, at the end of 2 weeks in July, I guarantee you're going to wish you had washed some of that stuff out. That's why.
But when the recycling is actually run through the plant, is it not at some point burned and all that, any residue would be burned off?
And they don't burn it. That's at the incinerator down in Pennacook. Single stream recycling plants separate the different materials and then ship number 2 plastic to the new number 2 plastic guys. And the cardboard goes to the paper mill and the glass goes to the glass recycling place. There's no burning in recycling.
I'm staying corrected, but just the last part of that was going back to the flyer that I think Margie said that was from Place in Maine. So do they have different standards as opposed to what we're doing with Casella and zero waste?
No, they do not. Some places take different things than other places. There's a number of different recycling single-stream facilities on the Massachusetts border, Portland, and there's at least one run by Casella in Vermont, which isn't too far over the border either, and I don't know exactly where it is. And they have their own standards because they market these recyclables. Our current contract does not call for the market, us sharing in that, but in 12 months, we get the opportunity to revisit that part of the contract. So if cardboard shoots up to $100 a ton, whatever we get, maybe they'll give us 30. And that goes right back into that not saving your taxes line.
Deb, you had your hand up, and then this gentleman, and then Marge.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's nice that we've gotten 10 and 11 tons so far, but I think the true reflection will be once the bags are in place and are being used. I mean, give it a couple months to get a true reflection on the amount that's getting recycled, because right now, people are doing it voluntarily, and that's great. But once the bags are in place, that'll be a better reflection of how this program is impacting our recycling. My other point was, this is also going to help against future costs, because I don't know about Tilton, but in Northfield, our tipping fees never went down. I mean, they go up every contract. They seem to go up, the amount that we're being charged, So this is also against future costs, too, if you can get the amounts down. So that's going to help our taxes in the long run. And, I know for a fact that the people that are recycling now are recycling because they choose to. A lot of people are going to think about it differently when they have to buy the bag. But, when it comes out of your pocket, it makes you stop and think a little bit about what you throw in that purple bag. And it helps encourage people who might be on the fence about recycling to recycle, because it's costing them a little extra each week. And it's a sad fact, but it's a fact. Sometimes it's all about what it's going to cost you.
Go ahead.
In answer to what this gentleman was asking about why we should be spending money to do this recycling thing, years ago I used to work for Dark Trucking, hauling trash out of the transfer station in Laconia, and I'd go to Turnkey over in Rochester, and if you want to know why we need to recycle, go over there sometime and take a look. That place is filling up right now. They're estimating 14 years ahead of schedule, because our society has become so disposable. Everything's disposable. Throw away styrofoam cups, throw away diapers, throw away everything, that the trash is just piling up tremendously. We need to start taking things we can reuse and reuse them. And if we burn a little fossil fuel to do so, to heat up the water washing, so be it. It's a whole lot better than having our land mountain high with garbage. We can't have that. We just can't have it. There's no land left to do that.
Okay,
And the incinerator has a 10-year life on it right now. And then we're going to end up burying it because there's no options.
It's Marge first, and Jerry.
There's no land
Trying to
left
keep
start
it
piling up with stuff like this. Because that stuff's there forever.
If Joe would. Go ahead, Marge, you're next.
This time I made my little notes. First, I want to say 4 years ago when I was asked to serve on this committee, they didn't say we want you to serve on the committee because we think it would be ecologically a good thing to do, which we haven't even mentioned that aspect until now. It was because we want to save money for the town. And I would not have spent all of these hours for 4 years working on this committee if I thought this was going to cost me a lot more money. I pay enough taxes in this town as it is. I don't want it to be more. And I said from the beginning of the committee, and we've had a couple different members, that we have to prove to the town that the money saved does show somewhere. That doesn't mean your taxes will go down, but the money will be saved, the money that we're taking in will directly be put to reduce the amount that we spend for garbage. It's not going to be thrown in on top of what we're already paying. You will see that we'll make a presentation to show that it directly is reducing the amount of money we're paying for that line item for the garbage. And if it didn't, I would be the first one to stand up and say, scrap this program. But on the other hand, ecologically, it is very important. Our natural resources are not an unlimited supply. I went to one talk on somebody from the government who talked about that there is a life limit to all these things. People just think in our generation, not like people even during World War II that knew what it was like to conserve things, we just buy and spend and use all of these things. It is unlimited. Future generations will run out of some of these products. Why throw away things when it can be reused to make t-shirts and flooring and carpets and all that? That aspect alone is the reason we should do it. But if we were only doing it for the ecological thing, then we just have information and say, please recycle. You know, it's a good thing to do. That's not it. We're going to pay as you throw because it's the only way to really show that we are going to reduce the amount that we're sending, that we're paying for to be dumped and burned. That's why we're doing the pay as you throw. And you will see, we made a presentation at town meeting, and Sarah, who has worked with our committee, is going to go over a little bit of it now. We made a pretty thorough presentation, and I'm sure some of the people who came to the town meeting probably came in with the idea, no, we don't like this. But we made a presentation to prove to the best of our research how much we would be saving in the long run and how much it would cost each person if they recycled so much. So Sarah's going to make that presentation, just give some of the facts in a minute. But so the money that we're saving is not going to just go into the general fund that can be spent on all new extra things. No. That isn't going to happen. It's going to go to reduce the solid waste budget. The other thing is that I didn't touch on, that I forgot the first time, is with our Best Way contract, we are not receiving any revenue from the recycled material. There was another company we could have gone to, and we would get money back for our recycled material, but it's a commodities, you know, it's high and it's low. And the downside to that was we may get, for 3 months, we may get revenue from it, but for the next 3 months, we may have to pay to get rid of it. So we opted for, we don't get any revenue from the recycled material, but we don't have to pay anything to get rid of it either. So I just want to bring that up because somebody might say to you, well, geez, I thought they got money for selling cardboard and selling recyclable things. The town is not getting any revenue from the recycled material that Best Way picks up. But in the long run, we don't have to pay either. So I wanted to make that clear. When you talked about the mailing and notifying everybody, one thing that we hadn't thought of, which we might consider, is sending the mail out. You know, you can send it out to the different, through the different post offices to all local customers as opposed to our taxpayers. And that might be the way we want to go, even if it costs us a little bit more money. Send it out to all customers who receive mail as opposed to taxpayers. So that's something to think about. If on our website, if we don't have the list of exactly what can be recycled, we will get that there in the next week or so. And please don't leave here thinking there's all different confusion about what can be recycled and what isn't. It really is pretty basic, and if you take the little colored brochure, that tells it. There is not that much discrepancy between this Echo main one and what can really be recycled. So don't leave here saying, oh, there's so much confusion about what can be recycled and what isn't. It's really pretty basic information. If you throw one piece or two pieces in there that we say can't be recycled, there's no harm in that. They accept, some pieces that can't be. So please don't leave here with the thought, oh, it's all conflicting information, what can be recycled. Probably at least 98% of anything you read of what can be recycled can be recycled. So it's not a whole lot of conflicting information. So, and there will be fines, and hopefully we will put that information out there so people know that you're going to be fined. Of all the towns in New Hampshire that are doing the pay-as-you-throw recycling, which there's 47 of them, there's only been one that has that has rescinded it, and that was because it was being shared with another town. The people that I've talked to in other towns, the people love it. And, maybe by town meeting, maybe we won't have enough information, because at town meeting, we were supposed to start both the recycling and the pay-as-you-throw on June 1st, very shortly after town meeting. You'll see now, we're now into September 1st. And there have been so many articles written in the newspaper between March and now, but even leading up to town meeting, it was in the newspaper very frequently. It was in the town warrant. So, we can't spoon feed everybody. If you're a person that doesn't read the newspaper, don't know, interest what's going on in town, we do the best we can. We aren't trying to hide any information. It's all been out there. So I just want to defend that we aren't communicating. We're using every means that we can think of to try to communicate and get the word out to people. So Sarah just wants to talk about what we talked about at town meeting.
Is that okay?
5 minutes.
All right. My name is Sarah Lakeman. I actually live in...
You have to go to a mic or something. They're not going to hear you. Please make it short.
Is this on? Yeah, I'll try to make it short.
Okay.
My name's Sarah Lakeman. I actually live in Portland, Maine, and I have a job as I'm kind of like a free consultant for rural towns who want to increase recycling. And I've been working with the committee for 3 years now. And I helped put together the presentation and help them do all the research and everything for the programs. And I just want to say that we chose to do pay-as-you-throw for a lot of reasons, but one, it's the most effective way to get people to actually change their behavior and start recycling. Most people here probably already have some sort of vested interest. Most people stood up and said that they like recycling. There's so many people out there who don't, and this is the way to reach those people. And on top of that, we wanted to start curbside pickup, but that was going to add $87,000 a year to the budget. So with the pay-as-you-throw, we're going to earn enough money to offset those costs to avoid raising the taxes. And we're going to also be able to offset some remaining tipping fees. And on top of that, avoid some disposal costs. And I have all the figures that we shared at the town meeting. But basically, the pay-as-you-throw we felt was needed to do the curbside pickup. So, and this is what we presented. I tried to do it on a per household basis. So we just said currently the taxes needed for pickup and disposal of our trash only, the costs that would change with pay-as-you-throw were around $200,000. With the curbside recycling, we'd add $87,000. So just the cost to collect and dispose of our trash and recycling would be $287,000. With the price of the bags that we had presented with $1 and $2 a bag, we estimated about $170,000, but with a small recycling rate of 30%. I thought that we should have expected more for that, which means we would get less revenue in the bags because people would be, anyway, you get less money from the bags if people are recycling more, essentially. So that's just what we estimated. We'll see what it's going to be, and a small estimated avoided cost of $20,000. And all of that evened out to basically cutting the taxes needed for pickup and disposal, basically cutting it in half to around $100,000, even with the addition of the curbside pickup. So for a a home costing an average of $200,000, you're already paying $80 a year for the trash. With pay-as-you-throw and the curbside recycling, you can expect that to decrease by half, so that's $40 a year of your taxes going towards this program. And then the rest of the money is up to you. If you buy one $1 bag per week, you're going to spend $52 a year, so you'll be spending $92 a year. So that's $12 more than what you were paying before. And we thought $12 for those people who are recycling, $12 more a year was not that much to ask to have a program that was so good for the community and so good for the environment. Okay.
Bob?
Well, a couple confusing statements have been made. I just heard that we went with the company we went with because it wasn't going to cost us anything. Now I'm hearing it's costing us $87,000 for the curbside pickup. So which is it, costing us nothing or costing us $87,000?
The part that costs nothing is the disposal of that material that they pick up every time. Otherwise, it goes to the incinerator. No,
Joe, we were just told that we could have went with another company and got revenue paid to us for our recyclable.
or we would pay according to the market.
According to the market.
That's over and above the cost of pickup. That's the material disposal.
Yeah.
But then it's not a free program. You're paying $7,000.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, she's saying it's a free program. So I'm getting confused.
Well,
To me, it's not a free program.
no, it's not a free program. We pay $87,000 for the pickup. We just don't pay for the disposal of the materials they pick up.
But we do pay for the pickup.
That's correct.
Second question, how close to the street are these barrels supposed to be placed?
How close to the road do you put your regular trash?
I can't put in the winter this big barrel on the snowbank between the street and the road. My small trash bags, I can sit out there. This big barrel has got to sit back on my property or sit in the middle of the sidewalk. Right now, during the summer, I set it in the middle of the sidewalk. Once snow comes, Dennis definitely doesn't want those sitting in the middle of the sidewalk on Winter Street with the street plowed. So are they going to be able to pick it up off of the properties?
We'll just go roundabout.
They haven't, how long does, Dennis, how long does the arm extend?
There's no arm.
All right.
It's a platform.
On the side of the truck, they have a cutout, okay, that it takes two barrels at once, hydraulically, it brings it up, and it dumps it in the middle of the truck. Okay. There's no arm that goes up. So a suggestion to Bob would be to put it in your driveway, where your driveway you back out and then the road is clear.
And then the first time the street plow comes down, it gets buried or it gets tipped over because when the street plow comes down with the street, it plows halfway into the sidewalk. You know it, Dennis. I've talked to you about
Well, I guess, what's your suggestion?
I don't know what my suggestion is.
I have the same issue. I live on a dead-end street, and there's only one way for the plow to go up. And all of the snow ends up either on my side or the other side, either or. Our trash barrels are on the side. In the winter, unfortunately, I have to shovel or snow blow an area for my trash buckets. Now it's going to be a trash bucket and a recycler. That's what I have to do, because I can't, there's no other alternative. I have a driveway in the front of the house. I can't do anything else. It's a dead-end street. I'm locked into it. So
You'd almost have to put it almost on your lawn, maybe possibly half it in the sidewalk and half it on your lawn. It doesn't have to be out on the other side of the snow for them to pick it up. They will walk, okay, to pick the bill.
Good.
We have set times, like we know currently, Best Way comes fairly early in the morning. Sometimes at 7, sometimes it's
Depends on the area, right.
But the other day, they came by, picked up our recycling. My neighbor called and said, the recycling people haven't been here yet. And it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And they hadn't picked up his or the neighbor beside him. And so I'm like, they picked up ours, we already put our can back. And then about 3 o'clock, he said, guess what, they just came, but of course, my bucket was still out, but the neighbors wasn't, they already put theirs back. So is it, are they gonna like be able to get on a schedule, so?
There's two different trucks. Right? There's the truck that they load through the back, that's the regular garbage. And then there's the side lifter thing, which is the recycling. They have different routes. I followed the recycle truck their first time out over on the west end of town, and their paths crossed once, I think. So it'll be the same time every time, because it's going to be, his route's going to be the same. But he might hit you in the afternoon, even if the regular garbage truck, because you don't want both those trucks together.
I'm not asking about that. I don't care.
It'll be the same time, just like your regular garbage, they have a route. They start at 7 and they pick up here.
There's really, it's unpredictable at this time, Judy. We can't give you a definitive time when it's gonna, and I think that's the answer.
I'm asking them if we're gonna get their act together.
She's saying that one house got picked up, 2 houses above it did not get picked up. Right. At the same time, the route went out.
Right.
And then 2 hours later,
I got
we
it.
came back and did it.
Next door neighbor.
No, that's odd. That's real odd that they would go back.
They went right by my...
Dennis?
Yeah, it is. It's like, what were they thinking when the guy was just going too fast?
The ordinance states that the garbage is supposed to be out at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's the town ordinance. So as long as it's out by 7, they pick it up here and go.
It was weird, Dennis.
You didn't tell Dennis it changed
My
already?
understanding is before us.
Could have been full.
Yeah, if it was full, why'd they do us? They're coming up. Oh, they're backing up.
They have, it's weird, because they went right by this woman's can, knowing full well they had to come back around later and go back because of the turnaround thing. I don't understand it, but they got everybody.
Tim?
My question is relating to Bob Hardy's question about the winter and the bin. Will there be a place where if you don't have the ability to put your bin out for whatever reason, snowbank or otherwise during the winter, would we be able to take our recycling to the transfer station during the winter if we choose to bring it in?
You can, but it's not single stream. You'll have to separate. Because we separate the cardboard, the newspaper, and the clothing.
So the recycling truck wouldn't pick up at the transfer station?
You will, yes. But our cardboard, we have containers for our cardboard, and we have containers for our newspaper. So if you came down with your bucket full of bottles, cardboard, and newspaper, you'd have to separate your bottles into the foaming box, the newspaper box, and the cardboard and the newspaper.
Right. This gentleman in the blue up here.
They're open 5 days a week.
Go ahead.
My question is, come September 3rd, I'm going to have a wonderfully hard, durable plastic wheeled container that I won't be needing. Can that be recycled?
Technically, yes, but I wouldn't. Call Dennis, we'll come pick it up.
Yeah. I'll pick it up.
Still put the bags in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand what the question is. Of course, the bags.
Then Jerry, you're next.
I'm Brian Vaughn. We just moved into town. We weren't here for the meeting. So I don't know, was there any other pay-as-you-throw ways of doing it? You know, the garbage pail or anything like that?
Of course.
Like Franklin. How did you guys come up with the bag?
Well, the recycling committee was the one that, they're the ones that took 3 or 4 years to research the best alternative for the town of Tilton, the most cost-effective way for us. And they're the ones that came to us and said, this is what we feel is the best alternative. And that's what they had suggested. So yes, did they look into other alternatives? Yes. The answer is yes, many.
And I know in the pamphlet there, it says the biggest families can benefit and save more. How am I going to save more than a 2-person family if I have 10 people in my house?
By recycling more.
Huh?
By the recycling you do.
I have to buy more bags as well, correct?
Well, it depends on how well you recycle.
I'm all for recycling. I know I'm going to have to buy more bags than your typical 2-person family. I just don't see where I'm going to be saving money if I'm buying more bags.
And you may not. Some
I'm
people
interested
won't
in-
save money. I mean, some people won't save money.
Vice versa. Yeah,
The one issue that I have, and
you're right.
I've been very vocal about the one issue that I have is the elderly and the seniors in town, because they don't, and I've been very vocal about it, because there's some that don't understand that they have to put their recycling in this, and then they have to go out and buy a bag. And there are some seniors in town that can't afford, not just seniors, there are some people that can't afford the price of the bags, and that's been an issue with me. And there are also seniors that can't wheel their bucket. They're depending on, hopefully, the good faith of neighbors to get their buckets out there and recycle for them. That, to me, is an issue in town. No, Jerry has had his hand up for a half hour now, so he's, then you.
Well, when we get these bags, you know how much it costs in the stores, too?
$1.50 and $1.
Yes. I say it's more cheaper that way. I say to myself, the selectmen, they're wrecking their hearts out to do this. And they really, I had to give them credit. So, let's go for it.
Attaboy, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Judy, do you want to,
My mother has that exact problem in Concord. She's like, I have to buy bags because I cannot lift the recycling thing.
right, there are three-size bins, does everyone know that? There are three-size bins, the very large one, and then a middle-sized one and a small one. If you get the larger one and can't handle it, if you call Dennis, he will make sure that you get the medium or the smaller one that will accommodate what you need.
What do we do when the bins get beat up? They start losing their...
Good question. What do they do when the bins get beat up?
We have replacement parts. I'll give you a new bin.
Let me tell you, when that plastic gets hard in the wintertime, it gets banged a little bit, you're gonna be replacing the barrel.
Jane?
Yeah, I'm Jane Alden, and I'm one of the seniors Pat's concerned about. I looked into the cost of health clubs to push up all of these machines that are on TV, and I want to tell you, it's a lot cheaper for me to push that big cart out every morning. And I've got it way down to my garage. So I just want to say, I'm saving money, because I'm going to pay for health club.
You never know what Jane's going to come up with. Sometimes I have to cringe, but, yeah, you're special, Jane. Go ahead, Chuck.
The question I asked Dennis is, he had back here like purple bags. I don't think most people have containers that they use now. Could we put
The purple bags in your containers now, as long as they're purple bags in your containers, yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No.
Right, because you don't want the animals to get after them.
Right.
Exactly. And the bags are going on sale tomorrow?
I'm going to be going around to each one of the various locations, and they'll be selling the bags.
Do you want to give the locations where the bags are going to be sold?
Hannaford's at the Franklin Town Line. The store, and that's the name of the place, the store, which is right up here on the corner of Park and Prospect? No, Main Street, Main Street.
Main Street.
Billy Lawrence over here at Bryant Lawrence Hardware. They will be going on sale here at Town Hall, but we need to get the bags in here prior to the actual start of sale, so don't be looking for them for at least a week. The Smoke and Barley up on Route 3 across from the Ice Creamery place. Walgreens at Exit 20. And oddly enough, none of the big companies want to sell these things. There's no profit in it for them, so they don't want to clutter up their things. Walgreens was the exception in Exit 20. Smoke and Barley and the Winnisquam Market and Deli right up at the bridge at the far end of town. That's not to say that we won't be trying to enlist other locations.
You're missing one.
Pardon?
You're missing one.
Which one?
I don't know.
I said town hall. I give them a week so we can order the bags, but they will be on sale at
I thought that
town
was
hall.
Brian Lawrence.
If I didn't actually use the words town hall, I meant to.
Brian Lawrence
I was
said that.
thinking town hall. You did. All right, good enough. See, we have trouble hearing each other at the opposite
Yeah,
ends
we
of the
do.
table sometimes.
Often.
Selective hearing.
And those should be going on sale tomorrow. There will be some locations that have opted or have stated they're going to sell the bags one by one. You could walk in, for instance, the store down here on Park and Main said that they were going to sell one bag at a time. If you wanted to go in, spend $1.50 or $1, you could buy one bag. If you're only using one bag for a week, you don't have to spend $10 that way to buy 10 bags all at once. You can do it, the price is the same. There's no markup for selling them one by one.
Do we have any other questions, last-minute comments? Anybody want a cookie?
Coffee?
We recycle the, okay, great.
Oh, please, because
do.
I'll be forced to eat them, and
Well, we can't have that.
I died.
We're eligible for that.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. They're very good questions,
Thank you
and
very much.
I'm hoping that you're going away with a little bit more answers.
Questions?
They were, you can see the tape, and they were answered.
Okay.
Wayne Brock's questions were answered.
Oh, yeah, Wayne Brock.
Wayne Brock's questions were answered.
Yeah, I thought they
I
were.
forgot to,
After it's trying to drain it off, a little bit back now. So I mean,
They wash it off. They wash it off. They say, oh, please don't throw away oil, grease, that kind of stuff.
oh, yeah.
Privatized this week.
Yep.
Good decision from you guys.
No.
How you doing? That's up there, Contingiani's.
Yeah. There was a couple others up there that did the same issue. Not a lot of residents, like 3 of us. The rest of them were all in and out, so they'd rather spend all its funds out of it. Recycle bin and take the normal bags and continue to I couldn't address anything from the town hall and answer their questions because it was
No, she's been chair.
Is like up
Once
there,
I-
they have dumpsters there.
Oh my God, once I got done being chair, no, she does a great job.
Has a key.
No, she does a great job.
Of course I did, Jerry.
I know. And then the
Oh, you want to shut the tape off for a minute?
then the town.
Take 5 minutes, take the tape.
I did, but I couldn't understand your message. I knew it was you because of your number, but I couldn't understand what you were saying. It sounded like you needed something.
No,
Talk to you sometime.
Are you serious?
We are red.
You're on vacation? And you came here because you're on vacation? Oh, my
The
God.
Lord asked me to come, so I came.
Oh, you are sweet. Yeah. Because you know we're doing your evaluation?
done everything that we had, so.
Did the board look at this?
No, they haven't looked at it yet.
We're doing it right now in
We're gonna do it right
non-public.
now. Do you want to wait around or no?
What do you think, Catherine?
See this number? See this number?
Yeah.
All of them.
Okay. I'll wait around.
Okay.
All right,
I'll be quiet.
okay.
We back in meeting?
All right, thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for coming, I appreciate
Jerry.
it.
Bye,
Take
Jerry.
Jerry, take a cookie on the way out? No? All right. Before we go into a non-public, I want to announce that August 7th at 5:30 is the Fire Commissioners meeting.
Maybe in line too.
For everyone to know about.
Where will that be located?
That is, I just turned the page.
Because they move around.
It's going to be in Northfield. Northfield for 6 months. Northfield
Uh-huh.
Town Hall, downstairs meeting room, downstairs meeting room, 21 Summer Street.
Okay.
Review of personnel policies and procedures. All Tilton and Northfield citizens are invited to attend the public meetings.
At 5:30?
Yep. Okay. I would like to make a motion to go into non-public per RSA 91A:3, personnel and legal.
Second?
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Husband votes yes. And we're back.
I'd like to make a motion that we seal the minutes of the non-public as they pertain to personnel permanently.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor, motion we adjourn.
Second.
Yes.
Adios, yes.
Question.
And then they're going to think I'm sitting at the Tilton Inn.
Bill Catherine.
What's that?
Finish the non-public.
Totally at the Tilton Inn.